the dawn. She's got her armor on, fighting for those who can't. Champion with a loving chant. Investigates the hidden truth with a pen sharp and couth. Unlocks doors with every word, and justice never goes unheard. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Canceling in every call, patching up before the fall. She sees the good in every face, spreads hope all over the place. Like Dr. Phil with a softer touch, opinions from below so much. Her guidance is a shining star, lifting lives both near and far. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. With a heart so tough, advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Woke up before the dawn, she's got her armor on. Fighting for those who can't, champion with a loving chant. Investigates the hidden truth with a pen sharp and couth. Unlocks doors with every word, injustice never goes unheard. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Counseling in every call, catching up before the fall. She sees the good in every face, spreads hope all over the place. Like Dr. Phil with a softer touch, opinions firm but love so much. Her guidance is a shining star, lifting lives both near and far. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Like Dr. Phil with a softer touch, opinions firm but love so much. Her guidance is a shining star, lifting lives both near and far. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Woke up before the dawn, she's got her armor on. Fighting for those who can't, champion with a loving chant.
Welcome everyone. Welcome. We're getting ready. Hope you're all having a good Sunday night or Monday morning, depending on where you are.
Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. the dawn. She's got her armor on, fighting for those who can't. Champion with a loving chant. Investigates the hidden truth with a pen sharp and couth. Unlocks doors with every word, and justice never goes unheard. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Canceling and every call, patching up before the fall. She sees the good in every face, spreads hope all over the place. Like Dr. Phil with a softer touch, opinions from below so much. Her guidance is a shining star, lifting lives both near and far. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. With a heart so tough, advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Makes the world a little more wild. Makes the world a little more wild. The dawn, she's got her armor on, fighting for those who can't. Champion with a loving chant. Investigates the hidden truth with a pen sharp and couth. Unlocks doors with every word, and justice never goes unheard. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Canceling and every call, patching up before the fall. She sees the good in every face, spreads hope all over the place. Like Dr. Phil with a softer touch, opinions from below so much. Her guidance is a shining star, lifting lives both near and far. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. With a heart so tough, advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Makes the world a little more wild. Makes the world a little more wild. The dawn, she's got her armor on, fighting for those who can't. Champion with a loving chant. Investigates the hidden truth with a pen sharp and couth. Unlocks doors with every word, and justice never goes unheard. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Counseling in every call, patching up before the fall. She sees the good in every face, spreads hope all over the place. Like Dr. Phil with a softer touch, opinions from below so much. Her guidance is a shining star, lifting lives both near and far. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. With a heart so tough, advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Makes the world a little more wild. Makes the world a little more wild. Who can't, champion with a loving chant. Investigates the hidden truth with a pen sharp and couth. Unlocks doors with every word, and justice never goes unheard. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Counseling in every call, patching up before the fall. She sees the good in every face, spreads hope all over the place. Like Dr. Phil with a softer touch, opinions from below so much. Her guidance is a shining star, lifting lives both near and far. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. With a heart so tough, advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Makes the world a little more wild. Makes the world a little more wild. Dawn, she's got her armor on, fighting for those who can't, champion with a loving chant. Investigates the hidden truth with a pen sharp and couth. Unlocks doors with every word, and justice never goes unheard. Oh, she's momming it up with a heart so tough. Advocate for every child, makes the world a little more wild. Counseling in every call, patching up before the fall. She sees the good in every face, spreads hope all over the place. Like Dr. Phil with a softer touch, opinions from below so much. Her guidance is a shining star, lifting lives both near and far.
Everyone, welcome. I hope you're doing well. It's pretty late, but I figured, you know what, let's do a little multitasking with Mommin. Was having issues again. What else is new with the camera? I'm telling you, it just never ends. it doesn't end. But I wanted to go over a few things. I've had people leaving a lot of comments suggesting that we discuss some breaking, well, to some people, it's breaking news. It's old news. And this camera's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's way too laggy. Way too laggy. We'll have to try again. But if anybody wants to come up, I put the link in chat. I'll probably just put the camera back on a little bit because, see, a lot of the issue is if you don't have the camera on, it's really hard with fair use. But I don't think that Smiley's World will mind. Some of the clips I'm playing are going to be from Smiley's World, and some are from somebody that I know definitely would strike in a hot second, in a heartbeat. So you have to make sure that you try to comply with the fair use. Even though I'm not monetized and doing AdSense or anything on the channel, I am probably going to do that in the next week or two. I'll be doing some polls and asking you guys for your opinions. And we can move on from there. But I had a lot of people asking me about the Amber Alert for Sebastian. And do I know what's going on with it? Do I know what's happening when it comes to the Amber Alert? Because, oops, where did we go? Here we go. Because there was a lot that's happened, right? So Coffin Daffer finally was able to relay an email that she received and officially changed the date to the 25th. Okay, so it looks like Sebastians really was last known to before the disappearance on the night of the 25th of February, which was Sunday, not the 26th, as well as, oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll have it pulled up on the computer. And then there was changes with the Amber Alert. There was a lot of stuff with Nancy Grace. I don't know what people are doing or talking about. You can tell that there were some issues that needed to be edited. Like Seth Rogers, it was a really bad connection. So I'm sure tomorrow night, Nancy Grace's video version of the podcast and the edited version will be up. I'm positive, so I don't know where all that's coming from and what has got everybody in a frenzy over that. But there's just been a lot of chit chat since we had that breaking news. Let me play that clip for you really quick so that you can get up to speed on what exactly I'm talking about. So there was a news conference, not a news conference, but a, 1 minute, let me pause this. There was a news update about a week ago saying they weren't ready to give us information, but they wanted us to know that there was a new update for the first time in months. And I will play that for you really quick. Let me just pull this up. Here we go. Where did it go? Here we go. Okay. Finally. It's a lot of information. Trying to get it all on the screen is not easy. The link, if you need it.
And for the first time in months, there has been an update on a missing teen's case that had search efforts expanded all the way to Hopkins County. Sebastian Rogers has been missing for 10 months. His 16th birthday was in December, and since his disappearance, search efforts have not stopped, and police say The investigation remains active with hundreds of tips in the case. Investigators say some information has not been released yet because it might jeopardize that investigation.
So I just want to let you know that this was released on the 23rd of January. We're going to listen one more time. It's very brief and quick, but please take it in.
For the first time in months, there has been an update on a missing teen's case that had search efforts expanding all the way to Hopkins County. Sebastian Rogers has been missing for 10 months. His 16th birthday was in December, and since his disappearance, search efforts have not stopped, and police say the investigation remains active with hundreds of tips in the case. Investigators say some information has not been released yet because it might jeopardize that investigation. And we're learning.
So that was one of the updates that was about a week ago. And on the 23rd of January. Then I had a lot of people asking questions. They were looking up the Amber Alert. It's not coming up on certain websites. And the date has reflected the 25th on multiple websites as well. And we could look at that in a little while. But then I also had people asking about the remains that were found in Harriman. So I wanted to just bring up briefly that if you map quest it, Harriman to Hendersonville is 222 miles. I do not know if it's related or not. I will play that for you so that you can, get up to speed on that. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure that if it's related or if it's not related. That's, we don't know what we don't know until it is announced. And we're hoping that that has nothing to do with Sebastian's case. But I did have so many people asking me about it that I wanted to play it. I think it's important because if people are going to be asking, let's just clear it up. Let's listen to the actual news. Hear it with our own 2 ears. You can go to the news yourself and verify, do your own research.
From 6 News, the
station. So many people, keep thinking that it has something to do with, and I don't, none of us know or would we ever want this to have anything to do with Sebastian. But like I said, since so many people are bringing it up, let's listen to the news report about the remains found in Harriman.
The find is, being described as probable human remains. Now, they turned up behind a KFC restaurant in Harriman. District Attorney General Russell Johnson shared that the remains were found in this area. A potentially big discovery is next on our list. The find is, being described as probable human remains. Now, they
and just take it in. It says that it's a potential big discovery.
Facing tonight. A potentially big discovery is next on our
This was on January 24th, a potential big discovery.
Our list. The find is, being described as probable human remains. Now, they turned up behind a KFC restaurant in Harriman. District Attorney General Russell Johnson shared that the remains were found in this area by brush and tree removal workers earlier today. As of this afternoon, the recovery process still underway to recover all the remains. And then we're told an autopsy will be conducted by the county medical examiner after they are finished. But we are told that the TBI has been called upon now.
Let's pray it's not Sebastian, and I send prayers to whoever's family it is. But the TBI was called in
to help determine what the cause of death is. And of course, we'll keep you posted.
A lot of people were asking questions about it, so now you can hear it. And this is, like I said, that's the link for the news that we just watched on the remains that were found in Harriman, which according to MapQuest and things like that in Google Maps, it's 222 miles from Hendersonville. And so there's a bunch of clips that a lot of people haven't heard that I figured, let me see what I can bring up that I know there's 20 hours worth of live streams where Chris Proudfoot or Katie Proudfoot, which was Sebastian's mother and stepfather, were on. And I asked you guys what you wanted to go over. Did you want to go over drones? Did you want to go over aliens? Did you want to go like a bunch of different stuff? And everybody voted in the majority of going over Sebastian Rogers and some of the least heard, interview clips that I think are worth hearing. So we're going to go over those tonight. And I just want to thank you again for being here. Lisa, Zoe, everybody, the link's in the chat if you wanted to hop on up. I'm going to get into playing some of the interviews. We'll start off with some from Smiley's World. If you guys have any suggestions or recommendations,
News
just let me
2.
know.
And for the first time in months,
We're not going through the entire interviews. We're going to timestamps, different parts of the interview. So we're not going through the entire interview. We're just going to go through different timestamps, and we're going to do it that way because I think that's a little better. I mean, it's been 11 months. People have listened to a lot of these interviews. However, when they're lengthy like this, I think sometimes you kind of tune out certain things, and maybe you'll find these as interesting as I did, some of these clips. So again, this is Smiley's World. I will share her link for all of you in chat. I'm sure you all watch her. But I want to give credit where credit is due. Yes, Lisa, we have to pray and pray and pray. Absolutely. Amen. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so let's go to 1 hour and 41 minutes. I want to let you hear this, okay? And of course, I speculate on what this statement could be. Could there be a family member that might have an online presence? Listen, could there be a family member with an online presence? Give some good shots, because you know how people just love to clip and make fun of people. So ridiculous, sadly.
Member with a pool, so he absolutely we've got a few really good parks in the area that he still enjoys going and playing in.
Some hiking.
We do hiking. We go bowling. We have in the summer a family member with a pool, so he absolutely, utterly loves going over there. And we do game nights. He loves playing cards. Uno is currently his favorite game.
Uno is his favorite game, right? We heard about that. And there's a family member with a pool. Just wonder if there's anybody with a pool that we've heard.
Like a fish.
And we're going to go to 1 hour and 59 minutes where we're keeping it all in the family.
No sense in arguing over it, really. I mean,
So all of this just kind of stemmed because you got a family member who wants to go out there and blast some family matters to the public. That's where it all stems from. Like I said, this is not family.
Oh, let's see. What family member is taking family matters and bringing it to the public?
Trying to raise money to add help to this however we can.
To, regular underwear. And that unfortunately is just something that has been happening for, ever. Sebastian was late to potty train and has had issues going back and forth with it.
I had brought up the question.
it's okay. So why is there a problem? I feel, I feel it's a problem, but somebody's asking about the GoFundMe. Why are you so mad about that, Chris?
So initially, I forgot what day it was. Myself, Katie, and Seth were in my house, and I had brought up the question. I said, "Hey, should we start a GoFundMe page to start trying to raise money to add help to this, however we can?"
Whoa! What was that? What was that? Oh, who said they wanted to start a GoFundMe? Was it Seth Rogers? Let's hear that again, shall we? Who asked about a GoFundMe?
So initially, I forgot what day it was. Myself, Katie, and Seth were in my house, and I had brought up the question. I said, "Hey, should we start a GoFundMe page to start trying to raise money to add help to this, however we can?"
Oh my gosh. Is this possible? I thought Seth Rogers did a GoFundMe. He wanted money, right? It was all Seth Rogers. But wait a minute. On March 20th, Chris Proudfoot said he asked about a GoFundMe. No way. Let's hear it again for the people in the back.
And the police question, I said, "Hey," initially, I forgot what day it was. Myself, Katie, and Seth were in my house, and I had brought up the question. I said, "Hey, should we start a GoFundMe page to start trying to raise money to add help to this, however we can?" And the police said, "Hey, no, I don't recommend doing that, because then if you do that, it looks like you're trying to do this for profit." And I was like, "Okay, that makes sense." So we all three had an agreement. We weren't doing this.
Oh, so they all had an agreement we weren't doing this. Or did Chris Proudfoot have an agreement?
Hi, Ann.
Hey, Zoe, welcome. So what do you think about this? That Chris Proudfoot was the one that asked about money.
Yeah, he probably wanted, it was his idea, all his idea.
Is that your opinion? My opinion changed as soon as I found out he was the one that asked. He wanted a GoFundMe for Sebastian. He couldn't sell one of his campers, couldn't use his paid time off. I mean, he couldn't get his mom to help, family, nothing. He wanted a GoFundMe. Him and Katie Proudfoot needed a GoFundMe.
They need money that bad?
I'm shocked. I mean,
right?
You have Seth, who just moved cross country, was a stay-at-home dad for years. He's starting out in the workforce pretty much because he was a stay-at-home dad for years. And he's on a limited income, right? The economy stinks. So I would suspect that if anybody needed extra cash, even if they're getting full pay is barely making ends meet. I know people with PhDs trying to pay getting $21 an hour. Okay. So he needed a little extra cash to drive around, print flyers. They're very expensive. At the time, you didn't know TBI was going to bring a bunch. You didn't know. And I understood also, by the way, that we could show this too, if we have to, for the people in the back, that, maybe Seth wanted flyers that showed his son at the current age, considering the flyers and the Fox News showed him as a little Sebastian. So he needed a little extra cash. He's probably freaking out. What do I do? The guy has his car wrapped to try to make ends meet. It just upsets me because we didn't know in the beginning that it was Chris and Katie that needed the money.
Well, I wonder why they won't take the reward.
Right? It's shocking. So Seth's sister starts a GoFundMe that she manages to help Seth have the extra money, so that you make sure that he eats, he has gas. Gas was through the roof back then, right? And extra pocket money and things like that. I read it. We all read it. We all heard it. It was going to help with whatever it needed to help with. It was for Seth. And I can't believe it, because somehow, I guess, that broke the agreement, even though she was not part of this agreement. I think, to me, it sounds like somebody knew that somebody else wanted money and was going to find a way to get money. So she might as well help, so that the father wasn't stuck without any means to actually be actively involved in his son's search, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because, how many times did Seth go set up at the park? How many times did he go set up at the rudder? A lot.
Yeah.
So I just find it interesting that it was actually Chris Proudfoot. We're going to do that one more time, and then we're going to move on to another, what I think many people need to hear, clips. I'm Mommin It Up with multitasking with Mommin. Cammed up and all at midnight. I get them. They need like still shots, right? So that they can make fun of people, right?
Oh my God.
Nest, right? My big horse head. Sad excuse for being some of these people are. The comments that I've gotten are unbelievable. Unbelievable. Shameful. The hired help.
Hired help's culprits.
Yeah, well, they have a track record for being hired help. We know there's a couple people that are absolutely hired help.
They should have
By the
hired
way,
better
I'm going to
hired
be
help.
sued. That was the latest comment. I'm going to be sued. Sued for
Oh
having
my
fair
God.
use. Yeah. Not monetized. Just started sharing the Cash App and the Venmo. First time ever. I got $5 for a Red Bull. That was really cool. That was very nice. But yeah, I'm going to be sued.
Well, I don't think there's anything to that lawsuit.
Yeah, Jackie, actually, it's in the beginning of the video. If you go back and look, or you could look at the links if you scroll to the top of the chat.
Should I do a quick TLDR?
Read the description and read the title without telling me. Trolls. Ridiculous.
Yep.
Right, so now we're going to listen one more time, then we're going to move
Myself,
on to
Katie, and Seth were in my house, and I had brought up the question. I said, "Hey, should we start a GoFundMe page to start trying to raise money to add help to this, however we can?" And the police said, "Hey, no, I don't recommend doing that, because then if you do that, it looks like you're trying to do this for profit." And I was like, "Okay, that makes sense." So we all three had an agreement. We weren't doing this.
trying to do what for profit?
And next thing you know, now there's the GoFundMe page up there.
So, okay. And, but, okay. So why don't y'all just start your own GoFundMe page? I mean, it's like, there's no sense in arguing over it, really. I mean,
So all of this has kind of stemmed because you got a family member who wants to go out there and blast some family matters to the public. That's where it all stems from. Like I said, this is not family problems. This isn't about family matters being public. It's about Sebastian.
right.
And we've got some family members that aren't necessarily kosher about everything right now, and they're upset. Their emotions are, I got it. Everybody's been at one point hot-headed, and if somebody tells me they're not, that's a lie. Everybody's been a hothead at some point.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, we got a missing kid, and that's a problem.
well, in my opinion, I mean, you have to put everything aside. I mean, your feelings, her feelings.
So anyway, now we're going to move on. We're going to go over and get to 2 hours and 41 minutes.
Entitled to my opinions, as I've been very respectful to you, I haven't.
You have.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I may not always say the right things. I may not. But it's that last time I looked in the mirror, I'm entitled to my emotions. I'm entitled to my opinions.
Are we not, though? It seems like we're not. I mean, what have I ever done? What have I ever done to these people? I wasn't even a channel until one of his team members decided to send my video all over the place the day I changed my opinion when I heard the murmur comments and realized that Seth Rogers was at work. I found out Seth Rogers was factually at work, and I heard somebody going in and out of a vigil, and I changed my opinion because it no longer was valid. The hypothesis a hypothesis has to be formed on facts. You're supposed to be making an educated opinion, right? So I had to change mine. I had to change my opinion. And as soon as I did, boy, did a team member get very mad, or maybe somebody all in the family with a pool.
Yep.
And I respect those, and I respect everybody else's just as much.
Yes, sir.
There's one thing that compassion is a virtue that is in very short demand in today's society. Because if you sit back and you look at all these families, now we got another one, Riley. You know, a 6'7" guy disappeared in the.
How does he know anything about Riley Strain? It's March 20th. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Okay, this handsome young man. You see this young teenager over here? Let me put him up on the screen again. It went off. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it went off.
Was he following a Riley Strain case?
I'd like to know how he has time to follow cases and know the height of Riley Strain.
Yeah, it's pretty specific.
It's not even a month since Sebastian just disappeared. And the best thing about it, according to the stepfather, is he left no evidence.
That's crazy.
Not even a month. Not even a month. And he knows the height of Riley Strain. And I agree. May he rest in peace. His family deserves all the prayers and empathy that we have, as does everyone that's endured missing or homicide or murders. It's heartbreaking. Losing loved ones, especially in a violent manner or foul play and things, it's absolutely heartbreaking. It is. But it's the fact that this man has a missing, what he calls son, and somehow he's retained the knowledge of Riley Strain's height. And he's turning this into a sympathy hour for other people when it hasn't even been a month. Sorry, I'd be as selfish as anybody in this world. It would be all about my child and not just my child. There's no way I could do anything else. It's natural instinct.
Maybe that was one of his earlier attempts at, distraction.
Right? Hey, Ebony. Hey, Tina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, everybody over on X. How are you? I'll give you a quick, brief rundown. In the beginning, we went over a few things. There was a breaking news update. We'll go over it again before I wrap up because we're doing multitasking with Mommin tonight. For all my night owls, third shift workers, people in different parts of the world. Welcome, welcome. We're going to keep Sebastian's name out there no matter what, even if it's in our little corner of the internet. That's what we're doing. And it breaks my heart because when I moved down to Tennessee, I never thought that there would be so little. It's very hard to come by the signs and the banners and things for Sebastian. Very hard to come by. And most of the time, honestly, I only have seen them around the Clarksville area. And that's where Seth Rogers lives. It's not about choosing sides. It's about just sharing information as we see it. Especially when you have no relation to anybody involved. There is no way to have a side.
Yeah, exactly. And the hired help might be taking the flyers down. I mean,
at this point, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt anything. I never thought this kind of stuff could go on in a missing persons active investigation. I can't believe we spent months where we hear about Seth Rogers GoFundMe, and yet the whole time, many people like myself were like, well, Chris is the one that requested it. But I didn't know that he specifically stated until I went back and listened, probably, I don't know, maybe honestly in September when I went through the transcripts.
Yeah, because there's a lot to go back through.
But yeah, we went through it. There was a news update. I think it was about a day after that remains were found in Harriman, Tennessee, 222 miles from Sebastian's home from Hendersonville. I don't know if it's exactly from his home, but I know it was 222 miles from Hendersonville. They said that this is potentially, they made it sound like this could be a very big thing. And then we had a news update. So we're waiting to hear information on that. TBI was called in. I did play the news clip. I can share the actual news clips for both. I'm praying that it's not Sebastian. I know everybody, we want him to be found safe. However, it is something I wanted to bring to people's attention because I did have a lot of comments and things about that.
Yeah, they had like forensic forensic anthropology working on it also with TBI and I guess the local police. That's the Harriman.
Yeah, and the DA was there. It was
Yeah.
behind the KFC, and it was
Mm-hmm.
found by, maintenance workers that do like tree
Brush
removal.
removal. Yep. Yeah.
And very sad. So whoever it ends up being, prayers go out. And
Yeah.
but with everything that's gone on, it can't, we can't, if we're going to try to do things and make hypotheses and share information, you kind of have to share it all, even if it's things that you don't want, right?
Exactly. It's very unfortunate. So hopefully they can identify the person and notify family, whoever it is.
Yeah. And before we go on to the other interview, because we're going to go through another 10, 15 minutes of this, different clips from this, then we will go on to another interview. I will quickly replay that news article, that news segment, as well as the news update on Sebastian that was just given a week ago. It only takes 2 or 3 minutes, but I probably will replay both of those once or twice in the next hour or two when we're doing the live. Because multitasking with mama can't be till the sun comes up today, unfortunately. I wish I could hang out with you guys sometimes like that. I enjoy it, but I have to get up early. So I got to wrap up after I'm done with my laundry and stuff for the week.
Yeah. It's the interview where he says like the bad things. He's like,
bunch of different things in this one and the next one. Yeah.
Flat gone. Now we got.
But I
another
just said I
man
find it very
in today's
odd.
society.
He's talking about other family members, and he knew Riley straight height, and all this and that. And it's it's literally March 20th, so we're not even a month after Sebastian disappeared.
Yeah.
Because if you sit back and you look at all these families, now we got another one, Riley. A 6'7" guy disappeared in the flat, gone. Now we got another family that's hurting.
Yeah.
If you, as a person, ever set in the shoes that me, Katie, and Seth sit in.
Oh, yeah, I see them in the stores in the major towns, Lauren. I've seen them in different stores, but I haven't seen banners, billboards. We drove cross country quite a few times back and forth because I still have dual residency. I have to in New York for the medical for 2 of my children. And then I have my one of my parents I have to take care of that's 94. So I go back and forth quite often, and I have not seen the billboards. I haven't seen any of the yard signs. The 2 times that I did do a quick live stream. It's just, you would think that they would be, a lot more visible. That's all I think, in my opinion.
And to this day, or the Riley family for that much, I promise you, the outlook that you're going to see from our view, you'll understand it. You'll be so riddled with emotions.
That we can sit here and remember other people. I don't get it. I don't understand this. He's going to get into something interesting in a moment, so we're going to keep playing this through. But yeah, I'm sure there was a lot in the beginning. I know there was a ton. I mean, weather, and there's all kinds of things that affect signs. So, I mean, I don't expect, the average person to be able to keep up on having, yard signs and stuff like that. It's just that there's a lot of people that, are local, and you would think that they would just have the areas peppered where they are. That's all.
And yeah, somebody's probably moving them.
Yeah, I mean, we got like $30,000 to $40,000 in billboard money, and they say they get $50 taken out a day in the account. I mean, it's just stuff that just makes you go, that's all. Just my opinion.
What you want is the same end result. You just want your loved one.
Right. Right. I know it don't get any easier each day that passes. It don't. They want to know if it's possible, since y'all were on the phone, if he could have tried to walk to Chris's work. Thought maybe he was that close, the building site. The construction site that was by your house. Maybe he thought that was Chris's job.
Oh, Lord. No. Sebastian, no. Sebastian knows when my job sites, he knows what to look for. And
The
what I do,
construction site
has no equipment of that manufacturer on that site, period.
Yeah.
Manufacturer, that's weird. What was the
Sure, manufactures a lot.
Yeah, they're manufacturing a script is what they're doing, in my opinion. But what I want to know is that how can you say no to everything? No, he doesn't like going outdoors. No, he doesn't do this. No, he doesn't do that. No, he wouldn't go to the construction site. Like, how do you know all of these things if you don't know where he is?
Yeah, that's a good question. He's probably just, making it up as he goes along there. But keep in mind,
Go
we know
ahead,
it's
Katie.
calculated.
Now we do, in my opinion, absolutely. I mean, now that we
Yeah.
know that they have hired help, yeah, now it makes a lot of sense. And now we know Sebastian's not a young child. In
No.
appearance, in physical appearance. We always knew he was 15, but a lot of conditions can have a child appear younger. So, I mean, I'll never get over that. I'll never get over realizing that Sebastian was older and that people were editing the flyers because they wanted people to be looking for him in his current physical form.
Mm-hmm.
The construction site near our house isn't like a skyscraper. It's just houses and homes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're building a small subdivision.
Then we saw a
Yeah.
picture of Sebastian playing on the backhoe, right? I mean, in the front yard. So he
Yeah.
obviously enjoyed the equipment. So how would that not be something that you could think could be possible? I just don't get it. It's only been a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, I can't with him.
Searched it several times.
I mean,
Now
I'm
it's a
currently
possibility.
sitting.
Now, according to SF Investigates and Stephen Fisher, who held a contract up on the Lore Lodge, saying he was retained $15,000 to start. He was using that as a probability now. But in the beginning, no, not possible. Just like in the beginning, they said on that Queen Bee show that he would not hide under cars. But then all of a sudden they tried to say, I just can't.
I mean,
Yeah.
today's my last
Can't
night
understand
covering
it.
this crane, but I'm sitting at Vanderbilt University at the hospital, 300 feet in the air with a skyline view. And I get to sit here and do what I do, but I also sit here and I watch life flight helicopters come in and land.
So he is at Nashville, not Memphis. Are you catching that? Because he said on Nancy Grace a couple days later that he had to go to Memphis for work. So I just want you to hear this. Or was he at the Shriners? I don't know.
That's a good question.
I mean, I'm currently sitting, I mean, today's my last night covering this crane, but I'm sitting at Vanderbilt University at the hospital, 300 feet in the air with a skyline view. And I get to sit here and do what I do, but I also sit here and I watch.
But I thought he didn't have a job and he had to go back to his job at St. Jude, huh, guys? But on March 20th, he was sitting in a crane at Vanderbilt, which I believe is in Nashville.
I don't know. I'd have to
life
Google
flight
that.
helicopters
Yeah, it's in Nashville.
Okay.
Not 3 hours away, by the way.
come in and land every so often at Vanderbilt and at the Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
And I have nothing but to sit here and wonder, could one of those be Sebastian?
Yeah. I understand. Well, my prayers are certainly with every one of y'all and Seth and Katie and you and the grandmother and everybody and Sebastian. I want everybody to the whole Hendersonville, the community, people that didn't know him love him, and I want to see this come to an end in a good way. In a good way. Just to think positive, happy thoughts. Just think happy thoughts.
Very, very true.
And if anybody has any information, to call that number 615-442-1865 or the 1-800-TBI-FIND.
615-451-3838 or 1-800-TBI-FIND. Now, this is another interesting statement that we'll go over. feel free to butt in with your thoughts whenever you want. So,
Okay.
No, I don't understand what.
oh, here we okay. So basically, I'm going to show you how Katie has to have permission, allegedly, it seems like, from this interview and a few others to talk.
Yeah.
She gets permission. Listen.
Babe, if you want to answer, go for it. All of y'all, doesn't matter. We still love you.
Well,
Babe, if you want to answer, go for it.
no,
There's another time.
How do you think it's possible that Katie and Sebastian, and Katie and I can ask you too, you got a voice. Can I ask you why Chris is always speaking for you? I'm just wondering. Why is Chris always speaking for you?
Fire away, babe. Go ahead.
If you're not there, Chris, hold
Right?
on. It's
like she hardly ever speaks.
I want to hear my voice more, but
So twice he says, go ahead, babe, go ahead. But she's allowed to talk without permission? I worked in a lot of safe homes. Yep. DV affected my life in horrific ways when I lost somebody to an M&S. And
Oh my,
horrific.
yeah.
I told you about that privately.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked with many women in many safe houses and did a lot of volunteering in that and a lot of training in that. And when you hear people, give permission more than once, it's a little bit of a red flag and to some of us.
Definitely.
honestly, half the time it's because I'm crying or honestly, I don't have words to explain what I am anymore.
It's okay. I just wondered. A lot of people was asking that. I'm sorry, I was trying to read some of this. A lot of people was asking that, and just might as well ask it.
No, and we appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. Like we said, thank you.
Now listen in. He's going to talk about that weekend, and he's going to word it in a way that I think if you listen to that, you may have more answers on when Chris Proudfoot may last have been in that area. Especially if you combine it with other statements on other quote-unquote interviews. Although his interviews I find very interesting considering they're on the smallest channels that nobody can even find or know about.
And
no offense, smiling.
Just might as well ask it.
True.
Let me just make that clear. No offense to the smaller creators, but if I had a child missing and I needed urgent help, I would be going to the biggest people. I don't care if they like me, don't like me. You don't have to like me. Just help me find my baby. Period.
Yeah, like try to get on like mainstream news, local news, all the local news. Like really.
All the local news.
Yeah,
everyone.
People with like 100,000 followers or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vinny Cosman, Court TV, Nancy Grace, News Nation, Fox and Friends, follow-ups, so many things. And in my opinion, that's just atrocious. It's just shocking. It's equal, I guess, on the list of showing your child years younger than they actually visibly look the day that they disappeared. I can't even.
Yeah, the difference with those photos is like mind-blowing.
It really is. It really is. I think we'll have to show that after we're done with the next couple. There's not many on this one, and we'll go to the next one. Maybe I'll show really quick just how shocking it is. It's really a major difference for everybody that's new to trying to find out some of the information on Sebastian Rogers. It's really sad. The whole thing is sad, and I don't know how the mom and stepdad expect people to not have a lot of questions. I mean, look at the allegations that were happening right away, where they were telling news media not to show their home and cursing at people and, had a sign on the door.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, who does that? You'd want them to help, unless, of course, you're guilty or one of the parties is guilty. Yeah.
That's how it appears, right? It appears like you've done something that is not okay, in my opinion, and you don't want the child found.
Yeah.
And we appreciate it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we're going to that extra extent to not have them found.
Let's see. All right, y'all. Let's see. Oh, what did y'all like to do together as a family when Chris was in town and y'all were all together? Like, what was your thing? Did you ever like have a short mini vacation on the weekends? Did you go? I mean, what did you like to do?
Oh, we do all sorts of stuff. He loves Top Golf, so we like to take him there.
Mm-hmm.
Dave and Buster's because games.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a few really good parks in the area that he still enjoys going and playing in.
Done some hiking.
We do hiking. We go bowling. We have in the summer a family member with a pool, so he absolutely, utterly loves going over there. And we do game nights. He loves playing cards. Uno is currently his favorite game.
Cool.
Can he
Uno.
swim?
Like
a fish.
Yeah.
What was his favorite food?
Fact check.
Well, that
Depends on
depends
what
on which
day.
day of the week.
What day of the week?
Yeah.
He changes his favorite food probably every day. Chocolate milk has been a long time runner.
Tofu, believe it or not, tofu. He's not a huge steak eater, but
Not
steamed tofu.
fried. Not fried and no sauce, just plain steamed tofu and sushi. The boy loves sushi.
Yep.
He loves it.
Did he like going to, did y'all ever take him to the Japanese places where they made that in front?
Shoguns where they cook in front of you.
Yeah.
Oh, hibachis, yeah.
He likes it, but he doesn't at the same time because it's so loud and clanky.
Yeah.
And
So
they use a lot of the teriyaki style sauce.
Yeah.
When we get his, we kind of have to ask, like, hey, can y'all scoot some over? He doesn't like condiments that much. He really doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris, what time did you get home on Monday? Do you remember?
I want to say it was, well, hold on. Let's see here.
He's got to think a bit and make it up.
One something, I think.
Yeah. And then did you have to go back up there and get your camper? I mean, is that what y'all had to go back and get that? Somebody had to drive it back? Or?
No. It's a fifth wheel. It's a fifth wheel.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I couldn't tell. Somebody was just
no. You know, so there's a couple things that, because of this whole situation, I hope families never endure.
Right.
Without going into great details, I almost lost my job.
Mm-hmm. Over this?
Yes, over this, very much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And because of that, I was like, well, so I got permission, and I say I got permission. I asked law enforcement, said, hey, I need to go down, go get my fifth wheel, and I need to bring it home.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, you know, and they said, okay. So we told them what day we were going. And we went down there. We weren't even down there, I don't know, 24 hours maybe. I think we were down there maybe 17 hours. Long enough to get down there. I finished packing everything up. And I say she didn't go. I was down there long enough to pack everything up. I spent the night in my trailer, hooked up the next morning, and came home.
Mm-hmm. So, but will you be going back to work there? I mean, they'll allow you to go back to work there? I mean, in Memphis?
Things have worked out. I will be returning to work.
Good. Okay. All right. Good. So why the three-way call?
So, well,
Because
I'll give
I
you.
was hysterical and screaming and crying and frantic. And so he told me to mute my phone, and he's the one that actually called because at that point I couldn't even make words anymore.
So not only that, but if folks know the area, when you call 911, you go to a central dispatching unit. You don't actually go to your local PD unit. You go to a hub on a cell phone. When you tell them where you're at, then they redirect you to the local PD. We don't live inside city limits, so the local PD they're not responding. It's not their jurisdiction.
Mhm.
So we have to call the sheriff's office. So I called directly to the sheriff's office because I know what was going to happen, bypass it, call them. And then within 10 minutes of that phone call, they were at the house. And when they were at the house, they were at the house in full force.
How many came? Do y'all remember? Was it a lot? Or
You've seen the aerial shot of the subdivision, correct?
yes.
Okay, so from our house, go all the way back down to Stafford to that stop sign where Kellen and Stafford meet. Then line cop cars all the way down Kellen out to Long Hollow Road.
Yeah.
That's how many cops came.
Well, is there a reason like y'all didn't go to the vigil?
I don't understand why that's funny, in my opinion.
Yeah, did you catch where if you roll it? I know it's like you had to roll it back a bit, but like she said, like he didn't like the noise in the hibachi sushi place.
Yeah, which is like.
Would that be sound specific? Because he was fine in Texas Roadhouse, and that place was packed like a madhouse.
Oh, and it's like a cafeteria. It really is.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
seems selective. You know what they say.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of like, interrupts her a lot and doesn't let her talk. So it's like,
Well, in
I
my
have to
opinion, they
wonder.
were trying to come across like it's, the way that it sounded was like he had a lot more of a level, more of the like kind of severe, profound attributes that can go with autism that a lot of us know, that we associate with it. And that I couldn't understand why it seemed like they were playing it up, the incontinence and all of these different factors that they would discuss with very limited information about the chromosomal deletion. And then it's like he had his ears plugged, but it wasn't in Texas Roadhouse that we saw. And
Yeah, it was outside it.
yeah. And there's many times that my older boys absolutely love the Texas Roadhouse. And like I've shared before, it's very difficult because Haley is extremely sensitive to her environment. And we've never made it through the entire meal where we could all leave as a family because she just can't, we'll go and try, as we can with the right timing. But what we do is once a week, we try to do a to-go order and you just do curbside. It's free.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I like get it to go and be like, bye. I'm not sitting in there. It's way too crowded. Yeah.
So it's just interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed to be very.
I think he had his ears plugged because he didn't want to hear what his mom was saying, possibly.
Yeah.
So, well,
Because
I'll give
I
you.
was hysterical and screaming and crying and frantic. And so he told me to mute my phone, and he's the one that actually called because at that point I couldn't even make words anymore.
So not only that, but if folks know the area, when you call 911, you go to a central dispatching unit. You don't actually go to your local PD unit. You go to a hub.
Did he discuss what days he can't talk about yet, or did I miss that?
Sorry, what was that?
Did he discuss how he's not talking about certain days? Yeah.
I don't know. Does anyone in the chat remember?
Hold on, let me look that up because that's what I wanted to show.
Certain days.
So,
but we
maybe I think we were down there. Is down there long enough to pack everything up?
So, but will you be going?
So, well, so we have to call the sheriff's office. So I called directly to the sheriff's office because I know what was going to happen. Bypass it, call them. And then within 10 minutes of that phone call,
So he said he knew it was going to happen, so he's going to bypass it and call them directly.
He probably wanted to delay or figured it
they're not
wouldn't be recorded.
responding. It's not their jurisdiction.
Mhm.
So we have to call the sheriff's office. So I called directly to the sheriff's office because I know what was going to happen. Bypass it, call them. And then within 10 minutes of that phone call, they were at the house.
And I just want to tell you guys, it doesn't, if he wasn't in the area, calling, the 911 would have brought him to the 911 where he is, and then they'd have to transfer it. Like the way he explained it here always made me confused.
And when they were at the house, they were at the house in full force.
How many came? Do y'all remember? Was it a lot? Or
You've seen the aerial shot of the subdivision, correct?
yes.
It makes me wonder,
go all the way back down to Stafford to that stop sign where
Katie
Kellen and
just
Stafford
brought the call, or would he not let her call? She could have just called 911 and it would have came to the location.
Well, she said she was too distraught.
Okay.
To make words.
Yeah.
That's what she just said.
Okay.
Road.
Yeah.
That's how many cops came.
Well, is there a reason like y'all didn't go to the vigil? I mean, for real, the one by the high school? Seriously?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
So security reasons. And this is what I'm fixing to tell you is going to spark a whole bunch of stuff in the comments. I'm not afraid to answer any of this. The young lady who started to organize this vigil never even contacted us. Not one time has any of these vigils taken place as somebody tried to organize them with us.
Really? Because the one at the church you sent a family member to speak at, and then you sent a family member to the one in the neighborhood. So how would your family members know?
Parents.
I don't get that.
I think the only one that's been somewhat organized with a parent is the one that was done in Clarksville with Seth. Other than that, the one that was supposed to be out in front of my house was a security issue. My neighborhood.
Sorry, there's specific things I wanted to go over. Because these ones, everybody's heard a bunch of times. Maybe it's 137. Let's try this.
Some folks have been. My job as a husband is to protect my wife, my kids at all costs. And I will stand in front of them, beside them, wherever they want to be, and I take all the hard hits. I'm tired of people dragging her through the mud. I'm tired of seeing the stuff that they say about her. Say it to me. I'm okay with it. Say it to me. Leave them alone. Be nice, be respectful, be courteous, and think about a woman whose heart's broken because her son is missing. If everybody would just take a step back for 1 second, go look at your kids and realize you got a kid. Your kid's at your house right now that you can walk up to. They may be in the bed sleeping, but you can walk up to them, give them big old hugs and kisses, tell them good night, and enjoy the moments. Right now, there's 3 parents in this world. Well, more than 3, but right now for this situation, there's 3 parents that cannot do that. So forgive me for standing up and being my wife's rock and foundation, because that's what a marriage is. That's my job.
Okay.
But we do love all of y'all. Doesn't matter. We still love you.
Well,
Baby, if you want to answer it. Go for it.
no, I don't understand why it's a problem that my husband helps talk. I mean, I get that y'all want to hear my voice more, but honestly, half the time it's because I'm crying or honestly, I don't have words to explain what I am anymore.
Oh, wow. Her voice sounds like it kind of breaks,
In most of the interviews that I heard from her, she sounds like really, truly heartbroken and devastated, which is why I've always been
Yeah.
concerned and praying that, you know,
Yeah, that's why I don't like to, like, I don't know what to, like, I don't want to, like, outright, like, accuse her because I'm not sure of the situation. I hope that made
I
sense, but
mean,
whatever.
she's
Yeah,
surrounded
you
by
know?
some very toxic people that we've heard
Yeah.
constantly, and the way they talk and the way they are. And how do we know that somebody didn't do something while she was, sleeping? I mean, we don't know
Yeah,
any.
I really hope they don't try to set her up.
Yeah, I don't like the way
In the
that.
case that, in that scenario.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Yeah, because he seems just very controlling, and you could tell, like, her voice is, like, breaking at certain points. We haven't heard a peep at her in a while.
I think she's been allowed, in my
I
opinion.
think he's, like, got strict control over her, had strict control over Sebastian. He's just all around controlling.
Yeah, the scripting, the don't go down rabbit holes. We're going to listen to that in a minute. I'm just trying to find this one part.
Very jerky,
Yeah.
but I don't want softball questions. People wanted to ask me the hard questions. By golly, let's get these hard questions out. Sorry, but I just.
Well, let me start. Okay. Have you ever had CPS have special needs and stuff? That's
I've had
hard.
it. Well, I'll be honest with you. I've had CPS called on me in 2 states. What's the next hard one we got? Fire away.
Okay.
I'm not arguing.
Okay. So
What
I
did
was
you
just
say?
wondering.
What's the next hard one we got? Fire away.
Okay.
I'm not arguing.
Okay. So I was just wondering, like, like Katie, let me ask you this, or anybody can answer. So, like, if y'all were at home alone, like, because Chris works out of town a lot, and this is.
There's a lot of safety involved.
Yeah.
Sebastian's dad, same thing. He's not going to be able to just be like, hey, I'm out of here and walk out the door. I left as soon as I could, when I could.
What, let's see. Somebody wants to know why you didn't want him around your daughter.
That is a personal family matter.
Okay.
That unfortunately, that's not one I'm going to open up.
Okay.
It's not
Hazzy Mandy Moo 2603.
Well, okay, you don't have to. Let me ask you this in another way. Let me ask you this in my way, not their way.
And stomp.
What?
I had somebody in chat asked, where is it? Oh, they're surprised Chris has been so quiet recently. And I'm like, well, has he been playing games?
Oh yeah, I think I might have heard his voice someplace.
Yeah, me too. No comment.
With 1 foot.
Yeah.
Okay. He gets like that when he's throwing his tantrums. And then he brings his hands up in like the military knife hand is what they call it. All 4 fingers and thumbs pointing outward.
Yeah.
And he's like moving his hands up and down, kind of like he's making a point, kind of. That's to the extent of his violent outbreak. But other than that, no.
Yeah. All right. Justin said he wants.
You hear what he just did?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I know exactly the motion. Why did he say that? I mean, you can, knock people out that way unconscious.
Yeah, you left his lip smacking sound to him. Listen.
Oh, okay.
Knife hand is what they call it. All 4 fingers and thumbs pointing outward.
Yeah.
And he's like moving his hands up and down, kind of like he's making a point, kind of. That's to the extent of his violent outbreak. But other than that, no.
Yeah.
Oh, he pops his mouth like.
No.
That's weird.
All right. Justin said he wants to understand this. He said, am I understanding this? You hit him with a belt because he didn't have a belt.
No.
No.
Okay.
No. So the question about hitting him on the outside of his clothes on his butt with a belt, that was something that he got in trouble for because he lied to us and he got one lick.
Okay. I can. Yeah. Like
the whole thing about I heard your question. My answer is simple. We want correct information out there. We don't want false information, which unfortunately somebody has put out false information.
I wonder
and
who.
The downside is I mean, one anchor in particular, I don't need to put the name out there.
it's okay.
But the one news anchor,
Maybe Nick Ferris, is that who he's talking about?
instead of
I think he means
just
himself.
reporting, kept insinuating stuff, which in itself is a problem. And it drew the focus away from Sebastian.
Almost every single news that we could watch, news clips I have, people are acting like there's something very wrong because kids don't disappear from their home.
Yeah.
The way that they described Sebastian. And the difference is they had so many search efforts, and a lot of other kids that have disappeared haven't had all of those dogs, all of those searchers. They just haven't had those resources.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
started
they do a
focusing
lot.
more on, who did it? Well, these people are, and that was a problem, so we don't want false information. None of the parents, none of the family members want false information. We just want the accurate information out there and people to focus on finding him instead of bashing parents or bashing something that they don't like, and just if people.
I mean, this man and woman, they allegedly, well, not allegedly, they were veterans. They served this country, and they don't realize that you're never going to stop people's opinions. There are people in this world that just don't like you because they don't like anyone ever. And like his focus has always been as if he can control what people say online. Who cares what any of us online say?
Yeah, I
If it's not
mean,
threatening, who cares?
yeah, his main focus you would think would be on finding Sebastian, but it's obviously more of trying to direct attention away from Sebastian and create all sorts of chaos and confusion and try to place the blame on Seth, in my opinion.
Ridiculous.
Would put
It is.
that focus into finding Sebastian instead of bashing us, that would be amazing. We love you all regardless.
I understand that.
I just think it's ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous to hear this stuff, because if you want us to find Sebastian, can you please give us the current photos? This is what I would have thought at the time had I known,
Yeah, I mean,
the ones
it's
from the Texas
hindsight,
Roadhouse, Texas
Yeah.
Roadhouse would have been great, that since that was the day he disappeared.
But here,
I mean, that would have been
listen, I
recent.
know, and y'all let me get back to the comment. I'll get back to this in a minute. I think, Lord have mercy. Now I can't, there's my comments. Sorry, y'all, I can't see my comments. I'll get back to all that. Thank you for all that. I'll get back to that in a minute. It's just too many, and I don't know how much further along it goes down. But I just don't see what's the difference in that. And maybe, and we do want the correct. I said this from the day that I opened this up. I want to make sure the correct information, and I'll try my very best to do that no matter what. And I could be wrong on some things. I really could. It's hard to get facts out about everything, and I'll correct if I'm wrong. But listen, and on this channel, I do say things that others won't say, and that's okay. But because I do care and I'm passionate about the kids. I don't care. I'm not in it for the money, the clicks, likes, views, whatever. I don't care. That's not what I'm here for. But Chris, it's what you said. So I'm asking you, why not go on these big channels or bigger channels, or little channels? It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, what does it matter? Is it that important to you that a person you feel, and your feelings are your feelings, but I'm just saying that you feel is getting this misinformation or this information about you or digging the dirt on you. Now, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. What I'm trying to say is, or you go on this channel per se. He dropped off again. Hold on. Let me paste it back up. Y'all must have, are you having Wi-Fi issues, or because that's what you better tell me before I get off of here, because if you have anything, I'll ask, because that's what you better tell me before I get off of here, because if you have anything, I'll ask.
Drop out of this. I got to make a phone call, miss this phone call because it's my daughter.
No, you go ahead.
The 4 ex-wives, 3 of them to this day, I can actually pick up the phone, call. Within 10 minutes of that phone call, they were at the house.
3-hour phone call. I mean, is that normal? Something true to that?
No.
Okay. And there was nobody else in the house that night with you?
Just me and my son.
Can you tell me more about that 3-hour phone call? I mean, is that normal? Something normal that y'all did every night?
Yeah. So my husband works out of town, as y'all all know. And yes, it is regular that.
Fire away, babe. Go ahead.
If you're not there, Chris, hold on. If you're not there, people want to know this. If you're not there, how can you
keep saying fire away?
So, if you notice, there's certain questions that you're asking I'm not saying anything about.
I know.
So as soon as you start talking about Sunday,
yeah. Okay. So
I don't say nothing. Saturday, I don't say nothing. But anything after that, from the 6th, from midnight to 6,
okay,
being on the phone with her prior to, yeah. I can answer those questions.
Okay.
And
Let's listen to that again. That's what I was looking for. You notice anything odd?
Yeah, I can't answer it. Why can't he answer it?
Yeah, listen to the way he words this. It's very, very, very odd, in my opinion. So we're going back about 30 seconds, guys, so that you can have context. Because I know that's the one thing that irks me is when I hear the clips and I'm like, yeah, but what were they talking about? You know, you want the whole context, you know.
so if you notice, there's certain questions that you're asking I'm not saying anything about.
I know.
So as soon as you start talking about Sunday,
yeah. Okay. So
I don't say nothing. Saturday, I don't say nothing. But anything after that, from
That's weird.
the 6th, from midnight to 6,
okay,
being on the phone with her prior to, yeah. I can answer those questions.
Okay.
And just
Why
so I've told somebody this before. My wife has popped off to somebody on Facebook about it.
Anybody in the chat tell me why you think that is, that he's talking this way about it? That he can't answer those, but he can answer only that. Let me know what you think.
The dates on like the flyer, didn't they change that?
It's just odd, right? Listen, it's
Did
very
that correlate
odd.
with what he
We're
said?
gonna bring that up. Yep, we're gonna bring that up right after.
Okay.
there, how can you answer all the questions?
That's where we're going.
So
See,
if
so
you
listen to what
Hold
she
on.
said.
Chris is always speaking for you. I'm just wondering, why is Chris always speaking for
fire
you?
away, babe, go ahead.
If you're not there, Chris, hold on. If you're not there, people want to know this. If you're not there, how can you answer all the questions?
So if you notice, there's certain questions that you're asking I'm not saying anything about.
I know.
So as soon as you start talking about Sunday,
Yeah. Okay. So
I don't say nothing. Saturday, I don't say nothing. But anything after that, from the 6th, from midnight to 6,
okay.
being on the phone with her prior to, yeah. I can answer those questions.
Okay.
And just so I've told somebody this before. My wife has popped off to somebody on Facebook about it. As nasty as some folks have been, my job as a husband is to protect my wife, my kids at all costs. And I will stand in front of them, beside them, wherever they want to be, and I take all the hard hits. I'm tired of people dragging her through the.
So he's basically framing that anything before what, 9 o'clock he can't talk about? Like what was that, you think?
Maybe midnight, that, up until midnight of that date. And why can't he talk about it? Did his defense lawyer, if he has one? I don't know if he has one, but if he does, did he say, like, don't talk about that?
Well, that's what
Or does he not
I'm
want to
thinking
talk about that?
Yep. And we're going to listen to that on the next live that we're about to go over and listen to. Yep. Where there's some of these interesting things mentioned there.
Yeah, but like he went, somebody in chat is like, saying, man, you mean saying, he's saying the 6th, not the 26th, but he probably meant the 26th because what happened the 6th, like that, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about that weekend. Yeah, right. I think he said the 26th. Let's see.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Otherwise, it just wouldn't fit.
Prior to, yeah. I can answer those questions.
Okay.
And just so 6,
Okay. So
I don't say nothing. Saturday, I don't say nothing.
I know.
So as soon as you start talking about Sunday,
Yeah. Okay. So
I don't
Need a timestamp 1:37, 1 hour 37 minutes.
say nothing. Saturday, I don't say nothing. But anything after that, from the 6th, from midnight to 6,
okay.
being on the phone with her prior to, yeah. I can answer those questions.
Okay.
And just so I've told somebody this before. My wife has popped off to somebody on Facebook about it. As nasty as some folks have been, my job as a husband is to protect my wife, my kids at all costs. And I will stand in front of them, beside them, wherever they want to be, and I take all the hard hits. I'm tired of people dragging her through the mud. I'm tired of seeing the stuff that they say about her. Say it to me. I'm okay with it. Say it to me. Leave them alone. Be nice, be respectful, be courteous, and think about a woman whose heart's broken because her son is missing. If everybody would just take a step back for 1 second, go look at your kids and realize.
Yeah, but I mean, in the context they're talking, I highly doubt he's talking about the 6th.
Yeah, that doesn't fit in. That was like way before the 26th or 25th.
It's probably in the beginning, he was thinking about things being used in a court of law, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be.
Maybe that was intentional.
Yeah.
Seems everything is way too carefully stated, in my opinion.
Yeah.
On this interview. And we're going to get into this other interview where he talks about why he doesn't give people notice that he's coming on their show. Obviously, it's because he doesn't want, a proper interview. He wants to be able to get people off guard, in my opinion. And
he only really wants like hired help to interview him for the most part. After, I don't know, in the last one he did that wasn't with like Clue or Truth or Queen or something.
So this is the news where they found
From 6 News
in Harriman. We're going to play this real quick, and then we're going to play the other news update, and then we'll get into the second one. So this was on. Sorry, Zoe, did I cut you off?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. So this is the link news that we're going to watch really quick again. And this was on the 24th, as you can see, of January. This was just an update about the remains that were found.
A potentially big discovery is next on our list. The find.
Okay, a potential big discovery. Okay, listen to the key wording. I'm praying it's not Sebastian. However,
No word on what prompted this chase or what charges those two people are facing tonight.
Just in
A
case.
potentially big discovery is
Yeah.
next on our list. The find is, well, being described as probable human remains. Now, they turned up behind a KFC restaurant in Harriman. District Attorney General Russell Johnson shared that the remains were found in this area by brush and tree removal workers earlier today. As of this afternoon, the recovery process still underway to recover all the remains. And then we're told an autopsy will be conducted by the county medical examiner after they are finished. But we are told that the TBI has been called upon now to help determine what the cause of death is. And of course, we'll keep you posted. Well, a big change up for discussion as President Donald Trump
Also,
visits.
there's another article where they talk about having an how do you say it? I don't have it right in front of me.
Forensic anthropologist that's working with the TBI and the local Harriman police people.
So I don't know what the breaking discovery would be, and that's why I think a lot of people were asking me about this, because the way that they're discussing it on the news makes it sound like could be somebody, that they've been searching for.
Yeah, because I mean, if you have like the TBI and then also the forensic anthropology people working to
Exactly.
try to, yeah, and they're trying to determine like cause of death and who it is and everything else. Because I mean, a lot of
This is
time has
the way that
passed.
he
So.
makes it sound.
A potentially big discovery is
Potentially big discovery. That's what the news guy says. A potentially
Yeah.
big discovery.
County Sheriff says 2 people were arrested. No word on what prompted this chase or what charges those 2 people.
And then this was the breaking news that was given.
And for the first time in months, there has been an update.
First time in months, there's been an update, and that was the 23rd of January. And they can't tell us what it is yet.
And for the first time in months, there has been an update on a missing teen's case that had search efforts expanded all the way to Hopkins County. Sebastian Rogers has been missing for 10 months. His 16th birthday was in December, and since his disappearance, search efforts have not stopped, and police say the investigation remains active with hundreds of tips in the case. Investigators say some information has not been released yet because it might jeopardize that investigation. And we're learning
The links in the chat for anybody that wanted the links.
I'm watching the chat.
So now we're going to go over to the next interviews that have clips on it. Hey, Chris, how are you? Yes, Mandy, I agree. But I don't think they feel that way now. I think people are very concerned.
Yeah, they should be starting to sweat if they haven't already.
Well, Chris, sometimes I have to be honest with you. I kind of feel like this could almost be like where we might, like, I don't know, like they were also trying to frame her as if, so, I don't know, there's something not adding up.
Yeah, I mean, what do you
Like,
think, Chris? Do you think they're trying to frame her? Oh, you said cover for her. What does that mean? Can you explain that, please? Thank you.
No, he means covering up for her, like covering up
Okay,
for her.
yeah, but, yeah, I don't really see him. He'd probably just divorce her and be like, nope. That's how I see him, like the type of person,
I feel like it would be a cover, if anything, to try to remove other people and just put it all on her. I don't know. There's something.
Yeah, that's what I think too. It seems to be like kind of, you see some, maneuvering on that side towards like what could possibly be like they're going to try to blame Katie. Christopher Dunlap, could you please elaborate, kind sir? Thank you.
What do you mean? I understand what he's saying. I'm confused.
Oh, he put another comment. I don't get it. I'm slow right now. He put no. I don't know what that's to.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, yes, that I can see.
Yeah, I need coffee too, probably, but I already had some, so I'm like,
We're going to go to 3 hours and 16 minutes. This was the Amish Do Hold Secrets Culminatis channel. And I do not have a link. Last I checked today, it was private again, but it's probably public because this is like a weird thing that I noticed that happens a lot. Private, public, edited.
Yeah.
Members only.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like a lot. So,
Yeah.
but as you can see, you can go listen to the full interview if it is still up and not on members only. And we're going to go start this one off, I said, at 3 hours and 16 minutes. And then in a couple minutes, I'll go show you guys the difference in picture. Excuse me, got the hiccups. Like Zoe said before, Sebastian looks so different. I'm going to do the update from the news when they were on Fox and Friends and the pictures of him as a small child. And then I'll show you what he looked like at Texas Roadhouse, and then we'll wrap it up if that's okay. And if Zoe, if you can't make it any longer, you are free to go whenever you need to. I hope you know that, right?
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably like gonna grab a snack, but I'm just gonna mute because I need salt. Yep.
First 57 minutes and 31
Well, I appreciate having you.
seconds.
Thank you.
This one's got to be pushing that one.
Yeah, I'm about to go to bed. I'm tired. I don't know how in the hell y'all got so much energy. It must be a man thing.
Well, I work nights, so.
Yeah, I know why you are ready to go.
I mean, I could tell you why I'm awake, but no one wants to hear those details.
Probably
Insomnia is a motherfucker.
because you finally built up enough energy with dinner to hold up that big fucking head.
All right, listen here, mushroom. Don't start with me. She's a trip. She's a mushroom.
I thought that was a fat joke. I was about to be like, that's a damn good one, dude. Hadn't heard that yet.
Maybe it wasn't. You'll never know. I'll stick with she's a trip.
Oh, by the way, did Katie tell you thank you for the goods, the goodies?
Yeah, I felt so stupid. I'm like, I'm the type of person that when people screw up, like doing a job, like delivering stuff or putting mayonnaise on my like cheeseburger or something, I'm like pissed because I'm like, dude, like there are doctors out there that literally cannot screw up. They save lives every day. One mistake could kill someone, and you can't get this right.
Meanwhile, this woman doesn't have a job, sits on YouTube all day, wanders around neighborhoods in night vision goggles. Yeah, but she judges everybody else's jobs. Okay.
Over here giving this Instacart help person hell. I'm like, yeah, the person said it was delivered. The shit is not here. And they were like, well, what's the address? And I said my address. And they were like, well, that's not what you had on there. And I'm like, what did I have on there? And then they told me, I was like, oh shit. Like I was mortified. And then I texted her, of course. I'm like, guess what I did? She was like, ordered a bunch of snacks and had them delivered.
Oh, did you have like actual night vision goggles or like something that went to like a video game system?
No, I think it was real night vision.
Okay, because what I saw, like, I don't know, it looked kind of plasticky.
Yeah.
She might have got it off Timo, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, can I help you?
Yeah.
Like, oh, just dropping off your delivery. Okay, thanks.
That's not scary at all.
Oh, so I called Katie and I was like, Katie, what'd you order? What do you mean? What I didn't order anything. Well, somebody ordered something. It's at the front door.
Well,
She was like,
the good news is, she was like, you know, you have pretty good taste. She was like, except for the mint cookies. She's like, the chocolate ones. She's like, that's not me. I said, oh, those are like my favorite. She was like, but it works out because he likes those. So
you sent them cookies?
I woke up and I was like, fiance's over here eating these Samoas, Girl Scout cookies, right? And I'm like, I want fucking cookies. And I didn't know what I wanted. So I ordered like Nutter Butters, mint cookies, Chessman's. I ordered like every freaking cookie they had, right? And then freaking, yeah, it's my, whatever. I started my, woman time.
Okay.
oh. Well, yeah, I was like, damn, okay. She was like, you don't even believe it.
Even
yeah,
ice cream.
Good choice.
Like there was ice cream in there too. Like it was bad, but whatever.
Our neighbor was home. She came over, picked him up for us, and she held on to it until Katie got home.
What?
Yeah.
You mean you have
Interesting conversation for an interview. You don't do interviews hardly ever talking about Sebastian, but we'll talk about our monthly. It's just all kinds of stuff. And she has their address stored in the Instacart or the DoorDash. That's just, yeah, interesting.
neighbors that like you?
Yeah, you know, I don't have neighbors that stare in my garage.
Oh. Color me shocked.
You know?
What
Now,
about
don't get me
the
wrong, I
garage?
got one or two that live up the road here that
The
I don't have
garage.
neighbors that stare in my garage.
Oh. Color me shocked.
You know? Now, don't get me wrong, I got one or two that live up the road here that they make sure to put their 2 cents into it no matter what.
Well, I'll tell you what, I did find it extremely odd, and I have to say, you know, I just don't understand. I can't understand why you would ever put a mattress you weren't using in a garage. Like, of all places for something you're not using to go, I don't know why you would choose to put it in the garage.
I don't know.
You ever tried to stuff a mattress into an attic?
Oh, it would fit. It would fit.
Through the door?
Through the attic?
Yeah.
What kind of? Okay, maybe it's not a big bed.
It's a queen size mattress. It'll fit.
What kind of attic access do you have?
I know. I'm jealous. Tell us about
door?
this.
That ain't no normal door.
Oh, you know what? They do build houses that have access like that to the attic, where it's like an actual full-size door.
I guess you just got to be extremely rich and wealthy to have something like that. I don't know.
Nah, it was in the house before we bought it.
Oh, so you didn't cut it out yourself into it and just sink a bunch of money into it?
No, I hate to burst everybody's bubble, but no, we didn't build $1 million home and label it as a $600,000 home, unfortunately.
How expensive has it been to pay off so many levels of law enforcement?
Oh man, let's see. I emptied the 401k.
No,
Started on the Social Security.
Don't run with that. Don't even do that. Don't run.
They're joking about that. Oh my God.
And it is that, you know, that's another one of the things going around. Obviously, I'm sure you've heard, and that's you paid everybody off and all of this. I'm curious about something. It's getting late, so I should probably stop asking questions. But
You're fine.
What's your opinion on everything that happened with Nancy Grace and just that whole thing? Do you have an opinion on that? Not necessarily the content of it, but how it was handled.
I think they did a really bad job. Really bad job.
Were you and Katie ever asked to come back on there?
Yes.
And y'all chose not to, I'm assuming?
Exactly. I forgot his name, but I think his name was Holden or something like that. But he had sent a message to Katie and myself, and then he actually went calling us and asked if we'd be. I said, no, I'm not coming on your show. He was like, well, and I said, or actually, he didn't come on. He actually asked me where I was located. I said, I'm not telling you. It's none of y'all's business for safety concerns. I'm not giving any of that information out. And he told me, he's like, well, Seth is coming on, or Nancy Show's going live. You want to come on? I was like, oh, well, who's coming on? And he told me, I said, absolutely not. Because I mean, that was a dead giveaway for a setup. Like,
yeah.
Why would I want to do that? Why? All you guys are digging for is for information and trying to get the numbers and the ratings up, and all it would just cause is a real nasty show. Why?
Yep.
The numbers and the ratings up. I don't know why. Because the more ratings, the more numbers, the more people looking for your son.
You know,
yeah, they don't want people.
I couldn't get behind it. And my opinion, like on the show, like you can definitely tell that she had to do. I'm not gonna say damage control, but they had to really think about how they were gonna bring him back on the show. When he went live and told everybody about it, he fell asleep in the polygraph. I don't know. Like, I don't know how they would do that as a show. That just a lot of questionable things.
Did Chris ever take a polygraph?
Did it feel like to you that they were
We know
downplaying that? Or was it not even a big deal from the get-go for you and Katie?
Knowing that what we know,
When he says he
quite
did,
honestly, like him taking the polygraph.
I mean, it doesn't really, he knows how to do it. That's why they're not submissible. In
He
court.
knows how to beat it. Yeah.
Yeah, people know how.
Yep.
To me, it was a waste.
People.
I mean, the fact that I took a polygraph. Okay, that was a waste too. But whatever. If
You hear how he laughs about it? Listen.
I mean, the fact that I took a polygraph. Okay,
He thinks
that
it's
was a
funny.
waste too, but whatever. If me taking a polygraph satisfied a lot of people to help clear some rhetoric or whatever, that's fine. I'll do it. And Seth did the same thing. That's fine. Katie took hers. That's fine. Not a big deal. You know?
Right.
I agree.
A
And
lot
I
of
also feel
antisocial
like
people
Steph
will
probably took
pass
it
them.
to do the same thing,
Like
right? And
sociopaths
like
will.
get rid of a lot of the BS and all of that, but it just didn't turn that way. You know what I mean?
Well, Seth made a mistake when he went out there and he went on the show and he started running his mouth saying what happened. He should have never done that. And quite honestly, the prolific should have never gave him the test.
I agree.
Never. And I'm very confused as to why they did. I mean, knowing what I know about polygraphs and what you have to do and all this stuff, like.
Did he catch
I
that?
agree.
He
Never.
always says he told
Went
them
on
what
the show and
It just didn't turn that way. You know what I mean?
well, Seth made a mistake when he went out there and he went on the show and he started running his mouth saying what happened. He should have never done that. And quite honestly, the prolificer should have never gave him the test.
I agree.
Never.
I don't know what
And I'm
happened.
very confused as to why they did. I mean,
He knows
knowing
what
what I know about
happened.
polygraph, what you have to do and all this stuff, like, I don't care if they paid him or not. You should never, he'd have never made it to the first hour of the polygraph. They did it right. They should have never made it to the first hour. You know, it takes 3 hours at minimum to do the polygraph.
Good Lord, I'd be a hot mess.
So here, I'll walk you through it real quick. It's when you go to the polygraph, you'll go into the room, you sit down with your interviewer.
Well, Seth had said that he was worried that Katie gave him too much medicine and he overdosed. So
Yes, it did.
it's an interesting
So
choice.
this is from like a May 16th or 18th. I can't see the interview.
I don't know. I think it was the 14th, 16th, I think.
Yeah.
Amish do hold secrets.
Okay. Yeah, I hope that answers that. Whoever asked that. Somebody wanted to know in the chat, like when it was.
Because I mean, you start walking back in there, there's a lot of deer stands, a lot of deer hunters back in that area. I think we're still in turkey season for the spring. But yeah,
There's definitely a lot of heavy growth throughout this area specifically.
Yes.
Has anybody contacted Long Hollow Church of Christ? Is that what you said it was?
are you talking about going north? It's New Hope.
New Hope. Has anybody contacted them to see if they have searched their property?
Yes, they have. So everybody in that, like all those major areas around here, nobody has really said no. And as far as they know, like the churches, everything that's open, that church parking lot is very open. It's a small church. It's not a huge one at all. Broken Spur Ranch is actually over there. They got a good piece of property. They've searched over there, and in fact, they've even provided some of the horses that were on horseback.
Yeah.
During the initial search. He was involved with that.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this area specifically, like that's all woods and stuff right there.
So
yeah, some of that's been searched, right? Some of that's been searched.
A lot of that has been searched.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If we start in that area and we start pushing north, northeast, and northwest, pushing out in those areas, just like permission to be on property is a huge thing. And with it being spring, warmer weather, don't go out there unless you've got high over the ankle boots. And I would probably almost go to say you probably shouldn't go out there unless you got snake-proof boots.
Yeah.
Because we're getting it.
One of the things that would, I mean, people act like getting permission is hard. If one or two people from each group went the day before and, circled this entire area and went to each one of the doors, left a note on the door with a contact number, you know what I mean? We're talking about, Tennessee. Most of these people are going to be more than okay with you coming on, with the search going on. Most of them are not going to give a hard time. They may need to schedule it with you, which is something that might need to be, accommodated. But yeah.
I mean, law enforcement, as far as I know, I don't think they had anybody that said no. I mean, they were kind of hesitant at first because they didn't realize who or what was going on if people were walking on properties. But then law enforcement would go up into the door and say, "Hey, no, this is what's going on." Oh, no, come on in. Sorry, but
Watch out for those Tennessee Cobras while you're out there too.
Yeah, they're spitting cobras too. Watch out.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Flying cobras too, but maybe I'm wrong.
You reckon, Truth, you might know the answer to this. Would hot pink glitter leather pants work for snake pants, or are they like a specific? Is there like a brand of snake pants?
My glitter pants didn't work very well. No.
Okay.
But you weren't asking me. Were you asking me?
I was.
Oh, well, in that case, well, it really just depends. You know, if you keep the rattles at the ankles, then you're either gonna maybe they'll like you or they'll run from you. It's a 50-50 shot.
I hear if you wear the 6-inch heel with it, it gives them a better angle, and they'll be more inclined to come out and be like, hey.
Yeah, they're more inclined for you to sink in the motherfucking ground and be stuck with a broken ankle.
That's for amateurs who don't know how to walk on heels. Thank you.
You can walk on heels in mud.
I can.
Yeah, right.
I couldn't imagine having to wear heels. Are you kidding
Why
me?
would anybody wear high heels? That's like, no. Or anything really heeled.
All on stilts.
I think this is a big joke.
Are you describing just your head or all of you?
Your face. Wait a
It's funny that you say Cleveland Sarge. He absolutely adores your big old head. Oh wow. Okay, that sounded way wrong. Like, never mind. I'm being so serious. He called this morning, and that was like the first thing on his mind. So if he listens to this and gets upset, oh well.
Was his big old head?
Hold on, wait here. Fuck this. Why does he get the right to be upset? Y'all are talking about me.
No, he wasn't upset. He was like, where's old big head? Oh, sorry. He calls you. You notice I titled the email to you BFH. That's because Sarge's nickname for you is Big Fucking Head.
Well, my nickname for Sarge isn't allowed to be said on these streets.
Well, I mean, he does have a small point.
She might be fine after man, you know. You never know it then.
No, we're not just going to skim over the fact that you said Sarge had a small point.
And you awake?
Take this microphone.
Okay, yeah. This one, they got up for game. I'm falling asleep here.
Throwing the mic at me. What y'all do?
I was just letting them finish
telling
this
him my Jordans.
discussion, considering, it's
Yeah.
only been not even 3 months since Sebastian went missing, and this is what they decide to do when they finally have one of the parents on a live stream.
They joke around and make like, they make light of it, and that's to put it mildly.
Yeah, and these are hours long, so that's why I'm going to different timestamps that I just found to be,
Yeah.
Oh.
Guys, remember, if you're going to the vigil tomorrow, please keep in mind what it's for. Please remember it's not for any drama. That's the least of anything that needs to occur. Please go with good spirits and good,
Is that reverse psychology?
I don't know what Cletus is doing. Bent over in half. Like, what are you doing? Thought you were trying to suck your own toe.
Y'all brother love
You're sitting here with the microphone, so I'm watching the chat. I keep forgetting Cindy is in here, so yeah.
I did tell Katie the other day. I said, you know what? We should start our own chat. We should start our own show.
You should.
Why would they say that? Why would they want to start their own show? I mean, you think they'd be focused on finding what happened to Sebastian?
Don't worry, we'll have every bit of like 2 followers.
Have they ever had their own show before? I don't know.
10,000, but it wouldn't be. Oh, hell no.
You'd have 2 subscribers and 10,000.
Well, I just find it interesting that they discussed this because Seth didn't start one for a very long time, and he just monetized it.
Yeah, and they were discussing this like all the way back.
Yeah, and I can understand him doing it because there's so much that's not in his control.
Yeah.
And don't worry, we'll have every bit of like 2 followers.
Yeah, no, you would probably have 10, 20,000, but it wouldn't be. Oh, hell no.
You'd have 2 subscribers and 10,000 people in every show just doing nothing but trolling and hating.
Oh, I mean, I would say the same thing to Seth. No.
You know, it's pathetic. Like, I'm not even kidding. You guys could literally sit a camera, like, outside of anywhere you're at, and people would sit there and watch it all day just in case something happened. A bird flew by, a moth landed on the frame. Like, that's how obsessed I think people are with you guys.
Well, Wayne Kersey said created.
I highly, highly disagree, considering this only had 11,000 views, 7 million
That's it.
people in
Wow.
DC, 300 and something million people in the United States, and billions in the entire world. And this only had 11,000 views. So yeah, I don't think that people really give a damn. Hardly
Yeah, and that
anybody.
TikToker had like 105,000 views.
That's what I mean. Like hardly anybody cares. They think they're so full of themselves. It's alarming.
Is Seth on TikTok? Do you know?
No, he only has a
Okay,
YouTube.
so it makes sense why they're so focused on YouTube.
Well, he just started that channel, so he wasn't.
No, like I mean in general, because they know like, you know, Seth's on YouTube and
Well, they had
not
Barbie
TikTok.
video,
Yeah,
and they're
that's
on
true.
TikTok.
Yeah,
Who's there now?
I forgot about. Yeah.
So I noticed it was something weird that I guess Terry Lynn went live for 10 hours.
No, I can't talk about that.
Well, somebody sent me a message and they go, "Oh my God, you won't believe this, but Terry Lynn's going live. She's been live for 10 hours." I was like,
I think she was searching for part of that time.
Yeah,
I do have to give her credit. She's been out, whether you like her or not. I can't say one way or the other, but I have to give her credit for going out every day and searching. She's one of the few people that is out every day, whether it's in the right place, wrong place, doesn't matter. She's putting her boots on the ground. So the guy
Christopher Dunlap, Chris said that Katie was too upset.
yeah, I was just like, I didn't know you could like go
Like
live
she
that
was
long.
like distraught.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't understand, what does truth mean? The right place, the wrong place? How does he know what the right place or the wrong place is?
Yeah, that's why I want to know. He's like, you know, suspicious, in my opinion. Very suspicious. Sorry.
I keep forgetting Cynthia's in here, so yeah.
I did tell Katie the other day, I said, you know what? We should start our own chat. We should start our own show.
Anyway, let's go on to the next one. Let's see.
I don't. No, you shouldn't. Absolutely not. Not a chance in hell should you do that.
Well, I was like, oh man, don't worry. We'll have every bit of like, I don't know exactly. It's not always the same numbers, but there'll be a series of numbers. They skip one. And then that blank, you're going to write in that number. And then at some point, they're going to tell you, when we get to this number, I want you to lie. I don't want you to say, yes, you wrote the number. I want you to say no and intentionally lie. They're just establishing your baseline. And then after all that's done, and you sit down in the seat, you know, and they hook you up to the machine and all the instruments and things like that. And then you start with the series of questions. And it's not fast. It is very slow. You'll go through it once, and then they'll say, okay, we're done. They'll turn it off for a minute, let you relax. And if whenever they'll ask you, are you ready to go again? Blah, blah, blah. And you start into it again. You'll do the exact same questions. Now, they are not always in the same order. It is randomized, but it is simply yes or no. And you'll go through the questions again. Wait a couple minutes, whatever, relax. And then they'll go through it one more time. Now, you have to have a minimum of 3 out of 5. The most they'll give you is 5. The minimum is 3. But you'll go through it that many times. And then once you're done, it says, okay, the test is now over. You can relax. And then they'll come and take all the material, instruments off of you. And then after that, he'll escort you out of the room. He is going to score the polygraph. You wait. When you come back into the room, you'll have a debrief, basically. And then they'll give you, on the spot, they give you your results. Do they hand you a physical paper? No. They give you passed, you failed, whatever, on the spot.
And tell you passed when you didn't.
If you want the results of your polygraph paper, you can request it. And then you'll get them in a couple days or whatever. But I mean, that is essentially the polygraph. Real simple.
Is it always that way? Because I like that just makes me question, because Seth said he didn't know that he would know in like a week. But then his mom came out and said it was incomplete. You know what I mean? I wonder if every polygrapher is that way.
The tests do not change. The only thing that kind of changes is like the machine. Like there's I think there's like 2 or 3 different series of the machines, but it doesn't matter. The process is the same.
He's put some research into this.
Form for form, word for word, results for results.
Oh, okay.
It's not. You do not wait to get your results. They are instant. Like
That's not. It gets
like
sent
I said, I
off
finished
for
my test. I
review.
stepped out of the room, took a break, got some water. I think I was out of the room 15, 20 minutes. And they bring me back in the room. We sat down, talked about everything. And he says, okay, now the results of your polygraph and blah, 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 blah. And he gives you the result. Real simple. Boom. It is not a week later.
They
It is
send it
not.
off to be reviewed by somebody
Now,
else.
getting the paper results might be a week.
Yeah.
Might. Now, in his situation, depends on how they, like you got your prolificer who scores it.
He knows a lot.
And they actually have to send it to
Mhm, he
a
sure
QA,
does.
and then they'll score it, make sure it's good, and bada bing, it's done. But you know, you get the answers immediately. You pass. So it's normally truthful, not truthful, deceitful, or there's one that could be inconclusive.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean that's basically what it comes down to. That's it. But you know, Seth should have never gone out there and got on social media. I wish he wouldn't have. I wish he had just waited, left it alone. Don't worry about it. Not
Why
publicize it.
not? Why does he wish that?
I think would have been a lot better for him.
He really wants control.
Less criticism,
Everything.
less
Yeah.
acting negative. I think would have been in his best interest.
Yeah, me either. Truth.
Well, I was just sitting here wondering. You know, we're also talking about a television show. And if you remember what the polygraph examiner said is that he sent his results off to one or two other people to have their opinion on it. So my assumption is that he probably wasn't given the results any more than maybe a briefing that you were talking about, but nothing that was concrete. I mean, I have my own opinions on all of that as it is, but it doesn't matter. Essentially, you know, if you're going to take a test, you should be prepared. I understand there are circumstances that may hinder that, and there's got to be a little grace for that. But nonetheless, I don't really want to put a lot of thought into the lie detector test other than it's at least some indication of all three people being honest. If we're to believe that he was tired and on some type of medication, then you have to give grace on that. He passed the second one. I think that just answers all three of those questions. You know what I mean? So moving on is going to have to be a necessity. I still feel firmly that there are some others at play here. And I think that
Some others at play.
But, you know, let's just.
Anywhere there was a billboard, I'd have that thing covered with his picture. Trust me. Back toward the cause, I guarantee you'd probably get a lot more response from every aspect, not just one side of the coin, but from all aspects. I think you would be able to profit a lot more off of it too. But I mean, that's just.
Here we go.
Associated with it. It's purely from the heart. And that's my opinion on it. I understand that YouTubers make money off this. I don't even personally have a problem with that. I think the problem comes in when that money is made with a, harmful heart, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
We know he's making lots of money
I mean,
now.
I've mentioned to somebody before, like, think about the families that are involved in this, and you're making money off of this. If people want to try to make it right, people that make money on this, donate all that money that you make on this, put it back toward the whole reason we're here.
What about Clue?
Help fund billboards, help get flyers.
Yeah, where did the money go?
Signs, whatever. Find different ways. I'm not saying by all means every dollar you ever make, the rest of your life, no. But show some sort of compassion, not just being on your tube, but there are ways to show families that you care, and not necessarily, and make your money without being rude about it.
I would agree with you 110% on that.
I mean, I'd be honest with you. I don't necessarily have to agree with everybody's visions and their opinions, but I'll tell you right now, you show families something in that realm, like you're putting back toward the cause, I guarantee you probably get a lot more response from every aspect, not just one side of the coin, but from all aspects. I think you would be able to profit a lot more off of it too. But I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
I got a question for you about the billboards. I know Duchess has done. She's started their second campaign now with the new billboards as well. But I know last time we were on here, we were talking about billboards.
Very interesting.
Are they still up all across?
Yeah.
Like I think you were talking about that last time about them being some of the other places where they're at, or maybe you said you knew they were up going toward Memphis. But do you know?
Yeah. So Well, we have lost a lot of the billboard. I mean, it's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. If I had an endless supply of money, I'll tell you right now, I'd have every billboard. Anywhere there was a billboard, I'd have it thing covered with his picture. Trust me.
It was only $50.
It's a lot of
a
money.
page
It truly is. I mean, just keep them going for a month. I think it's
Yeah, for the bookboard.
Chris, would you be opposed to? And I know that you and your wife have stayed away from GoFundMe's and
Hi,
Cash
KJ
App.
Mac. I hope you feel better.
What if there was somebody independent, like judges or like?
Feel better. Did you hear how he said it's a couple $100 a month? So he can't afford a couple $100 a month. Are you freaking hearing this?
Surely they could afford that. They just don't want to be bothered because they don't want them found, in my opinion.
a lot of money. It truly is. I mean, just keep them going for a month. I think it's a couple $100 to keep them going for the month.
Chris, would you be opposed to? And I know that you and your wife have stayed away from GoFundMe's and Cash Apps and all of that. What if there was somebody independent, like judges or like Mind the Monsters, that we could actually
Did he just name you?
proactive fundraiser strictly for and nothing else?
I
Strictly.
couldn't make out what he said.
That'd be amazing. And
You said Mind a Monster.
that's just even.
Yeah, it was like before that. I don't know.
And that I'm pretty sure I could speak.
I don't know. Let me see.
Mind the Monsters that we could. What if there was somebody independent, like judges or like Mind the Monsters?
Okay, yeah. He started like, I don't know, it was weird. It was like, he started like, and then he's like, I don't know, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, look. MUMM.
MUMM.
Mommin. Look, Mommin.
Hold on, wait. Where am I looking? I'm like scrolling up here. Okay.
We could
You're
actually do.
Yeah.
For somebody
Like
independent.
he started to say it, but then he, shifted his
I know
words.
that you and your wife have stayed away from GoFundMe's and Cash Apps and all of that. What if there was somebody independent, like judges or like Mind the Monsters, that we could actually do a proactive fundraiser strictly for and nothing else, strictly for billboards?
That'd be amazing. And
would that be something?
That's just even. Oh yeah, we all of us, and that I'm pretty sure I could speak for.
Post about it as well.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that we ask, me and Katie want no tie to it. Like, I don't want people to think that we have any type of tie to this. That's why we've always been very pushed away from money aspects of this.
Oh shit! You said
that
you were the first one. The only reason you didn't was because law enforcement said it would make you look guilty.
That, Chris, but I think, and no disrespect by cutting you off, but I think we're past all that shit. I think the option is the objective is to bring Sebastian home, right? So fuck what anybody thinks about it, right? Even if they think you're getting 90% of it, who gives a fuck? Because that means we can get 20 new billboards out by next week. You know what I mean? Like, you're not doing that.
Stay in that realm. Keep it very narrow.
As much as I can. You know what I mean? With the understanding that most people are just fucked up in general. But, let's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's unique, but staying on the safer side and just having like a lawyer or law firm do it for you, you're protected by doing it that way. Let's put it that way. If you stay protected, stay in that realm, keep it very narrow scape, like just one lane, here it is. We're not deviating, we're not going off course, we're not doing this. It's right there. And that's what they need to do. And that's it.
I'm assuming. I can agree with that as well. Although, like I said, I understand where Seth is coming from. He's grasping at straws the same way I'm sure y'all are, just not publicly, right? But it's just the manner in which it's all being done. It's just gotten so grimy, and I think that you've come out and spoke a couple times, and I don't know if that helped very much either, even though I'm sure you had the right, thought when you did it. The same way I think that Seth, for the most part, has the right, he all he wants to do is find his son too. But I just think all of this has just turned into shit, and it's got to be stopped.
It is, and I agree with that. I mean, like, Some people are like, well, you didn't do yourself any justice. You know what? It's not about doing justice for myself. It's not. You know, it goes back to where some people have to understand, like people kept poking a bear and you poke a bear, and you're gonna get the things that you don't like. And it's not a personal attack, but you got to understand, I'm not gonna let people just freely, willy nilly keep doing the things that they did. It's not right. You don't have the right information. You know, if you had the truth, you wouldn't be spouting out the information you have, because absolutely you wouldn't. Just because you'd have false information, why would you do that? I don't know. I don't get why people did what they did, but it's okay. It's done and over with. You can't fix the past, you know.
Better rewind that, okay? For chat.
He usually sounds like pretty calm, and when he's interviewing with like Truth and Clue.
Yeah.
But when he was on like the other channels, like Smiley's or Web Sleuths, he wasn't calm on those.
No, you can tell he's very comfortable.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they're all
Probably
very,
why
very,
he goes
very
in the
comfortable.
channels a lot.
For people that are worried about their safety and privacy. But yeah, listen to the wording he uses here. I found this very, very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Keep doing the things that they did. It's not right. You don't have the right information. Not like, well, you didn't do yourself any justice. You know what? It's not about doing justice for myself. It's not. You know, it goes back to where some people have to understand, like people kept poking a bear and you poke a bear, and you're gonna get the things that you don't like. And it's not a personal attack, but you got to understand, I'm not gonna let people just freely, willy nilly keep doing the things that they did. It's not right. You don't have the right information. You know, if you had the truth, you wouldn't be spouting out the information you have, because absolutely you wouldn't. Just because you'd have false information, why would you do that? I don't know. I don't get why people did that.
Interesting how he talks about if you have the truth, and then behind the scenes, which slowly started to come out because Crabtree tried to talk about it and trying to make Sebastian victim blaming.
Yeah.
So is that the true story? Like, because that's what they've been saying behind the scenes. I don't believe it's true at all. I think it's all made up. But I'm saying, like, is that what he's referring to?
Yeah, I don't know what he's referring to. Honestly, like, I'm tired, so I'm just like, that sentence just was like.
What do you guys think in the chat? What do you think he means?
What they did, but it's okay.
What do you think?
Don't poke
it's
the bear.
done and over with. You can't fix the
Yeah,
past,
who's
you
he
know?
apologizing to?
But
who's he saying?
I don't get why people did what they did, but it's okay. It's done and over with. You can't fix the past, you know. But
well, listen, I appreciate you answering my questions. I'm about ready to call it a night. It's super late.
I was just about to say Clue done went over and laid down. No offense to y'all in the conversation, but that's a lot more interesting to me. If you know what I mean.
No, that's understandable. Oh yeah.
Well, that's not awkward at all, there, Cletus.
Hey, when she gives me the mic and the chair, I mean, hey, you know, I can't be held responsible. Well,
you know, let's get you some sleep, and it's gonna be a good day. Hopefully, we'll have great news and we can move forward.
Yes, sir. That's what I know I'm praying for, and I know there are a lot of people out there that are doing the same. So,
absolutely. If you don't mind, real quick, everybody in the chat, if you'll do me a favor and stop messaging anything for a second.
So let's see. We got 2 more from here, and then I am done with this segment. 3 hours, 40 minutes, 2 hours, 55. 2 hours and 55. He talks about where to search. I found that interesting.
Wants to be, a part of the search, and they can't do it with old, 80-day-old information. And I think that's what a lot of people's hang up is. That
so it's only 80 days.
not necessarily come out and tell us what's going on with the case, but update us on areas of search that the community can get involved with. If they can come out and give us anything that can, and I say pacify respectfully, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but gives people something to grab onto and then go be productive. With nothing to be productive about, people have turned to what you see going on now. You know what I mean?
So you asked me this earlier, and here's what a suggestion when it comes to searching. I've seen the videos of what certain groups are doing, what they call searching, and it's not, they're out there, they're looking cool, but it's not searching. We're not seeing picket lines where everybody's standing shoulder to shoulder and then they spread out single or double arm intervals. We're not seeing that, and they're not all walking the same line, staying together. You know, and that's you're not really seeing a lot of that. And I don't want anybody to think that I'm saying that that's not happening. I'm just saying it's not being seen. Law enforcement has done it, but I don't know if at some point when you try to put a search team together, too many people, it becomes it's a circus show.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that's the hard part of this. You know, you want to be able to. I'd love to be able to put 400 or 500 people together, and we just make this big old line. We just start marching, going through an area.
And what if you do it?
Staying in the line together, and God only knows how much we could cover that way. But I mean, that's a lot of people. You're going to need medical people to be there with you in case somebody sprains an ankle, gets hurt, something, you know.
Oh my God!
But I think we have some of those resources, or there are some of those resources available. But I think, like I said, it still goes to if we need, and we do need, the everyday person to be involved and to spread the word, then we have to give them something to do. And a lot of people want to go search. And I know that putting together something big like that is a lot of work, but there's a lot of groups that want to go just, maybe 5, 10 of them.
They just don't want to.
Would just release where would be some possible places to search. I think
they can't be bothered.
Have any way of communicating that. I mean, I think that would at least give people that want to be doing the right thing, going out and doing things and searching, it would give them something to do. You know what I mean?
So I have some information. I'm not going to say where I got this information from, and I don't want people to speculate, but if you read statistics and everything like that, if you believe in those numbers,
listen carefully.
Outside of a 5-mile radius, I would start going north, in either northeast or northwest, but definitely gravitate north. You know, if you put two or three groups together, one goes, let's say northeast, one goes northwest, and one goes north. Right. Statistically, if you look at how it goes, SEER or like search and rescue, things like that.
Did you say SEER or SAR?
I personally would start.
I have to say SAR. You said SEER?
Yes.
Can you do me a favor, please? Can you pull up the area map so he can show where he's talking about, like from a stretch up? It got quiet.
I'm working.
That was aggressive.
And that was impatient.
No, it was awkward silence. That's what it was.
Well.
Bum.
Hush.
I'm trying.
It takes, some finagling to like do all this, bro.
Don't make me start singing Baby Shark, because I will. I'll have it in everybody's head before they go to bed tonight.
They're trying to pull up the map.
Do what you want.
Yeah, they did a really extensive search. It's like law enforcement, and they did another really extensive search.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna quit.
Okay, so looking at what you have posted here on your map. So everything that's in this picture is inside of a 5-mile radius. So everything in this picture is inside of a 5-mile radius. Okay, there you go. Now, let's see.
North from beach, right? Or northeast or northwest.
So right in that, let's just call it the dirt spot right in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the new subdivision being built, by the way.
Yeah.
So ours is directly to the left of it, but call it the same vicinity area. So if you moved north, New Hope New Hope Road Church of Christ is within 5 miles.
Okay.
So I would say just outside of that.
Past here.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're going to find out a lot of this area is very, very wooded. You're going to have different traverse of terrain there. I mean, hills, flats, hollers, ravines. You're going to have all kinds of stuff in these areas. But north, northwest, and northeast.
Okay.
And I mean, keep in mind, whatever people do, please just knock on folks' doors and get permissions. Because I mean, you start walking back in there, there's a lot of deer stands, a lot of deer hunters back in that area. I think we're still in turkey season for the spring. But yeah,
there's definitely a lot of heavy growth throughout this area specifically.
Yes.
Has anybody contacted what was that, Long Hollow Church of Christ?
What's northwest of them? Is that
going
where
north?
Clark is, or?
Has anybody contacted them to see if they
I
have
have
searched
to
their
open
property?
the map.
Yes, they have.
Okay,
So
I could do it.
Everybody in that, like all those major areas around here, nobody has really said no. And as far as they know, like the churches, everything that's open, that church parking lot is very open. It's a small church. It's not a huge one at all. Broken Spur Ranch is actually over there. They got a good piece of property. They've searched over there, and in fact, they've even provided some of the horses that were on horseback.
Yeah.
During the initial search, he was involved with that.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this area specifically.
Okay, so like
all woods and stuff.
where Seth lives is like kind of like northwest. So it's like pretty much saying, look at Seth. Like he's like trying to like blame Seth. In my opinion.
Yep. Interesting, right?
Yeah, very interesting. And everything they've kind of, directed is like.
Seth is south.
Oh,
Southwest.
Is he Clarksville, right? Is it Clarksville?
No. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It is Clarksville?
Yeah, if you look at the map,
like
it's not north.
Well, it's kind of like northwest.
No.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe my map's upside down. I don't know. Whatever. You do it.
Yeah, Clarksville's towards the south, away from Hendersonville.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
At least
For that. Yeah.
Hold on, let me see again.
A lot of that has been searched.
Every time I see
That's what I'm saying. If we start in that area and we start
pushing
No, I'm just going to look at it backwards. Let me look again.
Yeah, let me see, because every time I take it over to the doctors and stuff, it looks like it's more north.
Yeah, I gotta just remember which location I started at and.
So
that's been searched, right?
Yeah. Okay. So it's like depending on what route you take, it's like northwest from Hendersonville to Clarksville. Clarksville would be technically northwest of Hendersonville, depending on your route. Otherwise, you gotta like do a little like or the dip and then go up. So it's kind of like that's if you're going to Nashville, and then if you're going. Hold on, let's see if this works.
We're north of Nashville.
Yeah, but like the map's like really screwy and I can't get it to move around right now. But if you took like what's this road? 41 or whatever, I think it has another name. If you took 41, I mean it would technically, if you didn't have roads, it would technically be northwest of where Hendersonville is.
Northeast, you mean, right?
No, I mean northwest. I don't know what's going on the map, so I don't know.
North. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you see it?
It would be. Yeah, I see what.
Yeah, that's what I put. I put in Hendersonville to Clarksville.
Pushing north, northeast, and northwest, pushing out in those areas.
Yeah, I see.
Just like permission to be on property is a huge thing, and with it being spring, warmer weather. Don't go out there unless you've got high over the ankle boots. And I would probably almost go to say you probably shouldn't go out there unless you got snake-proof boots.
Yeah,
we're getting in.
One one of the things that would, I mean, people act like getting permission is hard. If 1 or 2 people from each group went the day before and, you know, circled this entire area and went to each one of the doors, left a note on the door with a contact number, you know what I mean? We're talking about, you know, Tennessee. Most of these people are going to be more than okay with you coming on, or, you know, with the search going on. Most of them are not going to give a hard time. They may need to schedule it with you, which is something that might need to be, you know, accommodated. But
You already heard that part.
Oh, I missed that part. Sorry.
See, yeah, it was in the beginning.
Mm,
3 hours, 7 minutes. 3 hours.
right. You really
Sounds like there's a lot there, but it's really not. Huh?
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow. I feel personally attacked.
Hey, welcome to today's society and the economy.
Did you hear that, or were you? No, you didn't hear it. Not.
You might be afraid of snakes, Tori. I don't know.
Ooh.
Oh, you know me.
Funky Cole Medina.
There you go.
Whoa.
You could be his damn vocal stunt double for sure.
I couldn't be his visual double. That's for damn sure.
No, you couldn't.
Wow. I feel like y'all should pay me for what I just did.
Maybe they are.
Oh, shit.
Okay, all this silence is really awkward. Like, well, y'all are the one who were having a live at 2:05 in the morning.
Well, I'm aware. We also started it at like 7 p.m.
Like you motherfuckers don't have a sleep schedule or something.
It's the weekend, bro. Lighten up, Dad. I'm just saying.
Well,
I
I haven't
mean,
taken my night
Tori
meds yet,
thinks
so that's
it's
why I'm still
possible,
awake.
but like
Just
SAR
outright
people are
check it out.
trained, so they're not going to be afraid of snakes. So I don't know.
Yeah, they're not star trained. SAR trained.
No, they're not. SARs, you're neither.
Yeah, and they're gonna have snake bits and everything, or else you'll get
Yeah,
poisoned.
yeah.
It's off YouTube, yeah.
By the
For
way,
first time.
congratulations.
That's true.
Congratulations.
Been allowed to stay up.
You always overtalk.
I was
I know
thinking he
does.
said northwest because that's towards where
First of all, I'm
Seth
getting
lives,
an echo
and
in
they're
that.
trying to like blame Seth. So you know, there's that.
Yeah. Where was that? I think I just lost it. What was
The
it?
things that they said and brought up, they should have stopped. Don't start going down rabbit holes. You know,
Like that.
see, so here's my struggle with some of that. And like I said, I'm not bashing Mr. Dingman or Tony Mattis. I'm not. That's not their profession. That is not their Tony, you're a crane salesman. That's your bread and butter. That's where you need to stay in your life. Mr. Dingman, I don't know anything about Mr. Dingman, but if he's in the oil business, then he knows about the oil business.
Well, he was friends with Riley Strain's parents, and when everything was happening, they just didn't have the strength to deal with it. And he kind of stepped up, and it's not what he necessarily does for a living. I'm sure he may go into it because he's amazing at it, but it was just somebody that is, you know, used to this area, used to the environment and things like that. But
Right,
He brings
so-
up Riley Strain again.
Right, and
Interesting.
Tony would be equivalent to what Mr. Dingman is. I guess Tony, he's got the knack. He helped the Harris case, whatever, because he worked with the Harris father. And whatnot.
no.
So that's my advice would be stay away from all of that and go find a law firm that specializes in this. And the reason why I say that is because there is pieces of like details that law enforcement do not absolutely want out there, period. There's not.
I agree.
Evidence.
You know, they had many discussions with me and Katie and said, do not release this information. Do not say this. And don't
They
say
do that.
And there were some instances that Seth has slipped and let some information fly.
They've slipped too, though. Both them all them all slipped. Yeah.
I think by having
Yeah, but if you listen, like he's sitting there talking about the professionals and stuff, okay, so then why would he go to somebody that never had a channel before? Cletus, like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean,
That makes no
that's
sense.
obvious. So that way he
what's
can
their job
push his
is to-
narrative with his paid help.
Yeah, then it's fixers.
Why I say that is because
Yeah.
there's pieces of like details that law enforcement do not absolutely want out there. Period. There's not.
Jen from Jersey, decomposing. No, it would be like completely like remains by now. It'd probably be over the decomposing process. Unfortunately, it'd be just like bones, which is remains.
Well,
in my
yeah,
opinion.
if something happened when it happened, yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Depends, sadly.
Me and Katie and said, do not release this information. Do not say this and don't say this. And there were some instances that Seth has slipped and let some information fly. And that's where I think by having a lawyer or law firm do it for you, you're safe. They know what they would be allowed to say, what not to say. Much better way of putting the information out there than.
Yes, it would be skeletal if you were found in May.
Interviews with Seth.
Where'd that go?
Should have stopped. There's certain things that they said and brought up. They should have stopped. Don't start going down rabbit holes. You know. And
Yeah,
I think that's where a lot of things went down wrong. It was just because of that.
They would have indeed it by now. If it was him.
And not all of that is necessarily on purpose either.
What was that?
Yeah, people are in chat are saying like some body parts were found in Rankin, Mississippi Pond in May, but those would be ID'd by now, and if it was him, we would know.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I think by having a lawyer or law firm do it for you, you're safe. They know what they would be allowed to say, what not to say. Much better way of putting the information out there than getting trapped. You know, and I'm gonna say this, I think some folks when they did their interviews with Seth should have stopped. There's certain things that they said and brought up. They should have stopped. Don't start going down rabbit holes. You know. And I think that's where a lot of things went down wrong. It was just because of that.
Well, I think there's some emotional manipulation, and not all of that is necessarily on purpose either. I genuinely try to see the good in people as much as I can. You know what I mean? With the understanding that most people are just fucked up in general. But, you know, let's just, I don't know.
A lot of projection going on there.
It's unique, you know, but staying on the safer side and just having like a lawyer or law firm do it for you, you're protected by doing it that way. Let's put it that way. If you stay protected, stay in that realm, keep it very narrow scape, like just one lane, here it is. We're not deviating. We're not going off course. We're not doing this. It's right there. And that's what they need to do. And that's it.
That's why I think he had a lawyer tell him what to do.
Yeah, I mean, that would be like, you know, the smart thing. So, I mean, he's not wrong.
I can agree with that as well. Although, like I said, I understand where Seth is coming from. He's grasping at straws the same way I'm sure y'all are, just not publicly, right? But it's just the manner in which it's all being done. It's just gotten so grimy, you know. And I think that you've come out and spoke a couple times, and I don't know if that helped very much either, even though I'm sure you had the right, you know, thought when you did it. The same way I think that Seth, for the most part, has the right, you know, he all he wants to do is find his son too. But I just think all of this has just turned into shit, and it's got to be stopped.
It is, and I agree with that. I mean, like, some people are like, well, you didn't do yourself any justice. You know what? It's not about doing justice for myself. It's not. You know, it goes back to where some people have to understand, like, people kept poking a bear and you poke a bear, and you're going to get the things that you don't like. And it's not a personal attack, but you got to understand, I'm not going to let people just freely, willy-nilly keep doing the things that they did. It's not right. You don't have the right information. You know, if you had the truth, you wouldn't be spouting out the information you have, because absolutely you wouldn't. Just because you'd have false information, why would you do that?
So why doesn't he tell us what the truth is, and you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's done and over with. You can't fix the past, you know. But
well, listen, I appreciate you answering my questions. I'm about ready to call it a night. It's super late.
I was just about to say Clue done went over and laid down. No offense to y'all in the conversation, but that's a lot more interesting to me. If you know what I mean.
No, that's understandable. Oh yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
Person I love the most first chat. Chris
Sorry.
Proudfoot
last clip.
likes it raw. He likes the pink and swinging with Clue and Cletus. That's what they took from that whole conversation y'all just had.
Really?
Wow.
That's what they took.
No,
Is that
they're
raw
disgusting.
steak?
Yeah.
In the name of Jesus, we
Wow.
all get together.
They are so tunnel visioned.
No, it's not y'all. It's not trolls. It's the regulars.
Oh,
You know how we do.
okay. Oh, okay. I can't see chat.
Yeah. No, I'm whacking trolls tonight. I'm like whack-a-mole in this bitch.
Whack-a-mole trolls. But no, I mean, Chris, I'm not gonna lie. When all this first came out, I did have my opinions, but about 3 weeks in, I was laying here one night and I did some soul searching because I do have a friend that in New York, her son is he's on the spectrum, he's low functioning, but you know, we talked one night and we discussed this case heavily, and she's like, I would hate to be in the parents' shoes. And she's like, I'm like, do you think he could have walked out of the house? And she said, Kim, I'm going to tell you something. She said, I never thought my son would open the door. Of course, he had his seatbelt on, but he opened her car door at 60 miles an hour going down the road.
Oh my goodness.
She said, I never thought he would do that, but he was in his seatbelt. But she said, autism is something you have to stay in front of, but you never know what they will do.
Bullshit. He wasn't that kind. He wasn't that severe. My God. Sorry. Forgot that.
There's too many questionable things out there that could arise to different levels of different things, and that's not what we want. We just want to find Sebastian. We want to bring him home. There's been a lot of stuff out there. Like me and this I believe her name is Captain Canine Jules Valente.
This was the last one I was going to play for tonight, guys, and then I'll show you the news clip and we'll end. But listen to this part.
Organizations become involved, that they without a doubt have to be vetted through law enforcement. I think that no matter what, no matter who you are, what you want to bring to the table, if you're not vetted through law enforcement and we don't get the Humny Domny A-OK, I don't think that they should be involved. And it's no disrespect to anybody. It's a safety precaution for Sebastian. It's a safety precaution for Katie, self, and Seth, and anybody else involved. You know, there's too many questionable things out there that could arise to different levels of different things, and that's not what we want. We just want to find Sebastian. We want to bring him home. There's been a lot of,
So what do you think he means by that? Too many questionable things. Let me know, guys, in chat. Let me know what you think. Because I found this very interesting.
Vetted through law enforcement, and we don't get the Humny Domny A-OK, I don't think that they should be involved. And it's no disrespect to anybody. It's a safety precaution for Sebastian. It's a safety precaution for Katie, myself, and Seth, and anybody else involved. You know,
no. What are they saying? Like, I mean, you would want all the help you could get, and like, if somebody is vetted and would, be in the presence of like law enforcement, then why not have them search? Do they have something to hide? I don't know.
That's what I mean.
Probably. It appears that.
Rise to different levels of different things, and that's not what we want. We just
listen.
There's too many questionable things out there that could arise to different levels of different things, and that's not what we want. We just
too many questionable things out there that they don't want. Like,
can they explain these questionable things, please?
No, because they don't want them out. That's what he's saying.
Well, it's going to come out, and it's going to come out anyway. So either way.
This is absurd when you listen to what he really believes. They all have him thinking you can control the internet. It's insane.
Yeah, he's never going to do that.
Want to find Sebastian. We want to bring him home. There's been a lot of stuff out there. Like me and this I believe her name is Captain Canine Jules Valente. I think remember her name? Yeah. We had a very long conversation. We did. And I told her, I said, if you have something that law enforcement doesn't, I am very open to accept it. But if you just have the same thing that law enforcement has, I don't want anybody else in my house. I don't. And it's no disrespect to anybody, unless you've got something, or unless law enforcement themselves come to Katie and myself and say, hey, look, we want to do this. If they say that, they know if they have the green light to go ahead. But
they will need a warrant, right?
Other than that, I'm sorry, folks. I love the help, but I don't need people in and out of my house. I don't. I'm not going to.
and it's no disrespect, but there are other ways if you need things that we will accomplish those things. But people aren't coming in my house, period.
Chris, at this point in the day, I don't.
You mean no cops without a warrant? In my opinion, they didn't let those cops with the cadavers. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this point in the day, I do not blame you for not letting anyone in and out of your house. Don't blame you guys.
Chris, are you uncomfortable in any way with members of Seth's team that have recently been shown to have current criminal activity going on? And I don't know, have you looked into seeing, or have you been shown that yet?
As far as like, there's certain individuals that I have that things have been brought to my attention on. I'm not going to name who or what. It's not. Right. I'm not going to sit here and bash them on any show. I don't care where it is. I'm not doing that, because at the end of the day, they are still people. They have lives, and I don't think it's fair to bash them for any reason. That's not my job. My job is to be a husband, to be a father, a stepdad, provide for my family, be a good citizen to society, provide what I can, and live my life. That's my job, and that's it.
I want to give you an opportunity to clear something up real quick. I think it's important. You were talking about Julie, and I had looked into Julie a little bit, just because.
Reminds me so much of a wannabe attorney. I can't help it.
Because of her canine training.
Yeah.
I had come across her production company, and I had kind of questioned it just based on how everything was going. A lot of this just seems like a damn movie going on. And so apparently she posted a couple comments. I want to read them to you out of respect and get your response to them. I think there's 4 of them. Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Okay.
Not scripted.
It says, I'm just going to say it. I don't care. I'm not confirming that it's CP, but it's either someone he's very close to or it's him. I've literally had enough of the childish BS. Before that, she said, I'm extremely convinced of who Truth Not Feelings is on that one channel. They were stating facts that I know only one person would know. Also, remember the type of leash, but not the weather. She says, he literally came out of left field and started blasting my film company. And then she said, if it's a match, meaning she's running cross-reference checks, probably using, never mind. Anyway, if it's a match, guess what? LOL. Him and all those people, it's harassment of a federal officer. And if they have been dragging my name through the mud, congratulations, there's an extra charge. Would you like to comment on that?
Sure. So if Mrs. Valente is listening, and if somebody wants to play this to her, please, I'm okay with this. What she does need to know is I promise her that whatever she wants to run, she's going to be disappointed to find out that whoever she is speaking to is not me. She should know whoever is, I don't know, trolling. I don't quite understand some of these terms, trolling, impersonating, trying to be whomever.
He understands those terms.
So basically, I made some comments in one of Culminatis lives. I went up on panel on that, and there was on panel over in Granny's watching. And essentially what it was we came across the day before in Clues Live, her production company, in the movie that she did. And so for us, it's just interesting that you have someone who came out of nowhere and also had the production company. And so I just simply asked.
It's such bullshit. Everybody comes out of nowhere. All of you have. Everybody does. This is the internet.
He just listed like all the channels that like he pretty much, hired as fixers.
Yeah.
A few questions, and apparently I was you, and that is certainly a military personnel. Also, because you're former military or still current military, would be is someone a military police officer when they're off duty?
So yes and no. So here's the difference, and this is when she hears this, I hope she'll understand the way I'm trying to say this. And no, I'm not. This is not derogatory by any means. One, first and foremost, me and my wife are veterans. We no longer serve on active duty. We did our time. We got out. Now, Captain K9 is a reserve officer in the United States Reserves. She's not active duty. If she is on active duty, she may be, because sometimes they do get called active duty. However, at no point does a military police officer have any jurisdiction off of a military base to perform law enforcement functions without some sort of participation with civilian law enforcement. And the reason why I know this is because even when I was in, military service members who got in trouble outside of the base, outside of military functions, and had something with local law enforcement, local law enforcement would be involved. Not military police taking that action and then You know, there has to be a handoff. So I'll give you an example. Unfortunately, there are some situations. There was one in California, and this was some years back. Service member got off work, was driving across a bridge, or was going to work, one of the two, and he was drunk, unfortunately, or he was tired. But he drove the truck off the bridge, and it landed on some folks underneath the bridge at a function, and it killed some folks. So he was arrested by local law enforcement. Local law enforcement handled that situation. And then they worked with military to see what the military aspect is, what they want to do, et cetera, et cetera. That's how that works. Right. No MP will walk off of a base and say, you're under arrest. Now, if we're in a foreign port, somewhere foreign shore, and we have shore duty military police, then yes, they can interact on foreign shore to take care of a military service member. Yes, that is possible, but not here in the States.
And let me be very clear. I have researched this young lady, and she does have credentials for her dogs. She does stand up for what she says she does. I've never said she didn't. I understand she's a great dog handler, but sometimes, you know, people just don't want to have exterior people at their residence. So I'm in no way saying that she's not qualified. I'm in no way saying she's not a good person. And more importantly, I'm sure she's a great person who's just in a really, really shitty situation with everything that's been going on.
Well, I mean, so from what I understood, I don't know if Seth reached out to her or she reached out to Seth. I don't quite understand that situation. But regardless, she talked to him. I had made a comment. She got upset with it, but she is passionate about what she does. First and foremost, she is very passionate. I am not discrediting her for anything of that. But when we had our discussion, she had told me, she's like, look, that thing I posted, you know, I'm sorry. I just kind of took it like it was an attack. I said, I promise you I'm not attacking. I was just telling you what I was told from law enforcement about how the dog situation works. You know, I'm not an expert, never claiming to be. So we had that conversation. I felt we had a great conversation. And I'm pretty sure, I think it lasted for like an hour and a half. It was a good conversation. And at the end of it, we were okay. We were good. And I said, if something comes up and if we need you, can I reach out? She was like, yeah, definitely. I was like, okay. You know, she discussed me about her dogs. She sent the credentials. She did talk to TBI. They looked at her stuff and said, she's legit. So I don't want anybody to think that she's not legit for the record.
Can you say that again for everybody in the back of the bus?
Yeah, she is a legit dog handler. She was discussed and talked with TBI. They called us and said, no, she's legit for the record. It's just,
awesome.
There's really nothing that I know of that her dogs are going to come out here and do that law enforcement's dogs. And when I say this very respectfully, from across the state and various districts, various states even, that brought in dogs from all over the place, federal dogs, I mean, all kinds of stuff. If they couldn't do it, I don't understand what one more dog is going to do. And it has done all the same training as the rest of them. What is it going to do different that they didn't already do?
That makes sense. 100%. Do you think? Do you have any idea why, when Sebastian ran out the front door, he would leave his phone behind?
Honestly, I don't. So it's very tough to get Sebastian to carry his phone with him a lot of times. Like, hey, do you have your phone? Well, no. Go in the house and get your phone.
Right.
Okay. I mean,
here's something that I'm not sure if anybody's asked you. Early on in Sebastian's disappearance, Seth had made a reference to an extra phone or another phone that he was going to give to Sebastian and didn't give to Sebastian. And my question is, do you have any response to the theory that Sebastian had a phone y'all didn't know about?
I don't have a response to that, because I wouldn't have known, because if he did, it was at his dad's house.
So it wouldn't have been hid at your house, or maybe, let's say, near the retention pond. Is that somewhere that he would go? Like, is that if he would get angry, or whatever it might be? 15-year-old boy's got emotions too, right? So would he frequent that area? Do you know?
As far as I know, Sebastian never left the house. The only two times that I know of, well, actually, we'll call it three, but I wouldn't call one of them leaving. He was caught outside of our yard when Katie and I were coming home, but he was across the street in our neighbor's yard. Right. And the law enforcement already know this. But it's not like he wandered. And there was two times on that. And then the other time was he went out to the bus and stood at the bus super early. And Katie found him. Was like, what are you doing? It is way too early to be at the bus stop. Get back in the house. Now, mind you, the bus stop is our driveway.
That makes a lot of sense.
But I mean, he's not a runner. He was never. I don't know. Sebastian never sleepwalked. He never took off. You know, and I don't know about his dad's house, but I'm willing to bet that he didn't do that at Seth's house either.
That somehow that we have no idea where he is. So every single possibility Chris has somehow eliminated, in my opinion. But we're going to wrap it up tonight, folks, because it's 3 a.m. Central, 4 a.m. Eastern. Just wanted to thank you all for coming and hanging out with multitasking with Mommin. I'm going to go to bed. I got to get the kiddos up for school in 4 or 5 hours. So thank you so much, Zoe, for being here. I appreciate it. And KJ and Tori and Mandy and Jennifer and Chris. And I agree with you, Chris. I agree with you. I hope so, too. I really do. I think we all do, right?
Yeah. I mean, kids don't just vanish.
No, they do not. Not when they have that many people knowing that, they looked into so many things. That's the thing that gets me, is that if there wasn't so much, deployed the day you went missing, so many dogs, so many teams, so much technology, then the CIA, the FBI.
Secret Service, yeah, FBI.
Oh, that's what we'll end on. If you want to get down because you're falling asleep, I get it. But that was what I wanted to show. Hold on one second, guys.
Oh, the news. Yeah.
I wanted to show you the couple of the news clips that talk about the FBI, the CIA, and things like that coming in.
If I start snoring, kick me.
Oh, okay.
There's been an exhaustive search for Sebastian Rogers, but with few updates from authorities in recent weeks, some have wondered, is enough being done?
We're doing everything we can.
It has now been 6 weeks since Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his mother's home in Sumner County. The 15-year-old who has autism apparently walked away from home in the middle of the night. Now, today, we learned that the FBI and Secret Service have been helping out in this case. And in the past few days, crews found a pair of glasses in the search area. It is not immediately clear if the glasses are Sebastian's. Crews are looking into that now. Our Brendan Tierney has the latest details on the search efforts.
The search in the air and on the ground for Sebastian Rogers has been scaled back over the past month. Officials say they're still working on the case every day.
Interviewing individuals, re-interviewing individuals, checking out leads, rechecking leads.
Susan Nyland says they're doing an old-fashioned police investigation, including interviewing Sebastian's parents, who've been cooperating since the beginning.
There is not any kind of an indication that there is a criminal element involved. But we are keeping options open. We don't know what has happened.
At this point, they haven't found any videos or other physical evidence that's connected to Sebastian.
We are exploring every lead that comes in and every tip that comes in.
Chief Deputy Eric Craddock says the Sheriff's Department has not received any actionable leads from more than 300 tips.
Nothing would make me happier than to wake up tomorrow morning with a tip that cracks this case wide open and we find Sebastian and bring him home.
But he wouldn't say where the investigation goes from here, beyond asking people to remain on the lookout for Sebastian.
We are here and we are dedicated.
In Gallatin, Brendan Tierney, WSMV4.
Officials are also concerned about misinformation spreading on social media surrounding Sebastian's disappearance. They say there are a lot of rumors and speculation online. And that becomes a problem when people bog down tip lines with their theories instead of real, concrete evidence. In some cases, that diverts time and energy away from the search for Sebastian as crews check out the rumors. Authorities say there's no evidence of any crimes, and Sebastian's parents have been cooperating with the investigation since the beginning.
Sebastian Rogers, Secret Service joined the efforts. That was the title. I'll put that in the description.
It has now been 6 weeks since Sebastian Rogers disappeared.
This was only in the beginning, so.
Yeah.
See, FBI, Secret Service join.
Yeah, they probably, I mean, Secret Service and even a lot of the FBI can really do a lot and, clear up, like, if there's any footage, they could really get that cleared up. So, they have a lot they can't say.
Do a lot online.
Yeah. And then you have, like, online, you have
I noticed that.
You know,
Here with that.
Culminatis, Machete, and the hired help of Proudfoot, you know, telling people to call TBI with over like, you know, ridiculous things that are not legit, and with a bunch of nonsense pretty much, and that just ties up the tip lines. So it's no wonder, you know, they're like, you know, don't listen to social media.
They even did that to me when they had me go on the panel, and then they all acted, and it was weird.
Yeah, that's
people
like,
all together.
yeah, that's so disgusting to do that. Like, who does that?
They were like, call TBI. I'm like, that you know what you're saying is bullshit. You're on my private, personal Facebook page. Like,
Yeah, it's just gonna get them, you know, on the crackpot caller list.
These people are nuts, in my opinion.
They are.
I wouldn't be risking playing with law and order in that manner.
But they are, which is crazy.
Wow.
They don't think logically. Or they don't care. They probably just don't care.
All right, well, I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you all have a good day and a good night. Thank you so much, Zoe, for being here.
Thanks for having me up. I know I'm like half asleep.
That's all right. Take care, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Baby in my arms as I rock this tune. Sun's rolling in, he's got wheels on the move. Warrior on the front lines, respect overdue. Every day is a hustle, but I wouldn't trade it, crew. Daughter shines bright, love her special ways. Gardener, true crime, are keeping busy all day. Counselor's wisdom, I'm here to stay. Mommin it up, come what may. Mommin it up, yeah, I'm living the dream. Love's battlefield never as hard as it seems. I'm dying for some wheelchairs, got my team, giving my all. Life is a stream, chatting about mysteries in the midnight glow. Planting seeds of patience, watch them grow. Whoa, whoa, let the garden show. Mommin it up, ain't got time for no slow. Daughter shines bright, love her special ways. Gardener, true crime, are keeping busy all day. Counselor's wisdom, I'm here to stay. Mommin it up, come what may. Daughter shines bright, love her special ways. Gardener, true crime, are keeping busy all day. Counselor's wisdom, I'm here to stay. Mommin it up, come what may. But mommin it up, yeah, I'm living the dream. Love's battlefield never as hard as it seems. From diapers to wheelchairs, got my team, giving my all. Life is a stream. Mommin it up, yeah, I'm living the dream. Love's battlefield never as hard as it seems. From diapers to wheelchairs, got my team, giving my all. Life is a stream. Life is a stream. Life is a stream. Chatting about mysteries in the midnight glow. Planting seeds of patience. Dad's on the streets, he's searching all night. Under the moon in the dim city light. Mom and stepdad nowhere in sight. Everyone's asking, where is he tonight? It's whispers and shadows in every call. Searching the alleys, walls to wall. YouTubers vlog, but they don't solve it all. Dad's the only one who stands tall. Lost in the noise, where's the truth? Missing teen come from his youth. Echoes of questions in every booth. Dad won't stop till he finds the proof. Why are they running? What's the story behind? PTA with a smile so sweet, hands in the air like she's gotta preach, solving mysteries with a truth so deep, spreading love, never out of reach. Advocate with a voice so clear, lifting up kids, chasing away the fear. Got her facts straight like a newsroom star, helping hearts heal from near and far. Oh, she's momming it up in style, every step, every mile. With a heart that's fierce, she lights the night, fighting for love like a warrior so bright. In the counselor's chair, she's got your back, advice so smooth, never gonna lack. Dr. Phil vibes, but 10 times more open, hope, third at heart, she's the one they adore. Seeing the good, she'll find the gold, even in stories that were once so cold. Eyes like a hawk, she's on the prowl, for every single truth, she'll walk that mile. Oh, she's momming it up in style, every step, every mile. With a heart that's fierce, she lights the night, fighting for love like a warrior so bright. And the warrior so bright. Oh, she's momming it up in style, every step, every mile. With a heart that's fierce, she lights the night, fighting for love like a warrior so bright. In the counselor's chair, she's got your back, advice so smooth, never gonna lack. Dr. Phil vibes, but 10 times more open, hope, third at heart, she's the one they adore. In the counselor's chair, she's got your back, advice so smooth, never gonna lack. Dr. Phil vibes, but 10 times more open, hope, burning heart, she's the one they adore. Seeing the good, she'll find the gold, even in stories that were once so cold. Eyes like a hawk, she's on the prowl, for every single truth, she'll walk that mile. Oh, she's momming it up in style, every step, every mile. With a heart that's fierce, she lights the night, fighting for love like a warrior so bright.
Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Take care. KJ, Lori, Mandy, Mike, Jennifer, Lisa, Spoken Queen, Emma, Annie, Robin, everybody, take care. Have a great night.